Hello, welcome to Cut to the Board, the Coaster Apocalypse. I'm Dan, as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today's episode, we're going to be finishing off the Rajneeshis, part 2. This is where the shit hits the fan.
Yep.
Quite literally, it all gets a little bit crazy.
Yeah, there's guns and people die. Who'd have thought it in a
Actually,
cult
no one
story?
does die.
Oh no, they don't actually.
No one dies.
Miraculously.
No one dies. Which means that they are shit.
Not a very successful cult, really.
This is what happens when you get a bunch of people who are brought up in peace and love and say, don't kill that bloke, it doesn't work.
Not a patch on Jonestown in murder terms.
No.
But anyway, you'll hear that next week. Right now, we're going to do the...
You're doing Jonestown next week.
No, this subject, you pedantic fool. Rajneeshi. But right now, we're going to do weird news, aren't we? And a few shout-outs.
Yes, we'll go through some of the top cities over the last 7 days who've been listening. Thanks. Vitoria Gasteiz in Spain, Penrith, UK, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm getting the hang of these American states now.
Yeah, better.
And where's that in Italy? Sesto San Giovanni, Bangalore in India, a recurring one. York, Pennsylvania, PA.
Yep.
Hey. Earlysville, I'm guessing that's Virginia. Lafayette, Indiana. Hanworth and Coventry. Marrickville. Asbestos, Canada. I always remember Asbestos, Canada.
It's an unfortunate name, that
It
one.
is. Wonder what they make there.
I've got to get this flat tested for asbestos.
Have you?
Yeah.
So we could all
Just
be...
like my old flat.
Now you tell us.
We sat here for a year doing this.
It's
You're
safe
telling
as
us...
long as you don't start hacking at the brickwork.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh, you bastard.
What do you think he does when he goes for a piss break? He's trying to tunnel his way out. We're all gonna die.
Right. Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Tottenham. Springfield, Oregon. Guadalajara. Wolverhampton.
Hey.
Eugene, Oregon. Porterville, Missouri. Flint, Michigan. Welcome back. Flint, Little Rock, and Benton, Arkansas.
I'm gonna get on my van. I'm gonna get printed Little Rock, Arkansas, Eugene, Oregon, Coventry. Well, we're worldwide, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd also just say hello to my girlfriend who's watching.
Global, international icons.
Jet setters,
Yeah,
one might say. So, alright, let's do the weird news.
we shall.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
It's time for an old friend to come back. A friend of the show.
Who's this?
Bigfoot.
Oh, God.
You know Bigfoot's a friend of the show. Shots fired at Mammoth Cave over an alleged Bigfoot sighting. I don't like this article. Someone's trying to shoot Bigfoot.
Bastards.
Yeah.
What did you expect to happen?
This is Mammoth Cave. I don't know what KY is. Kentucky?
Yep.
A weekend camping trip in Black Country at Mammoth Cave National Park quickly took a dramatic turn for one couple. They were woken up in the middle of the night to strange noises and were met with an individual saying that something had destroyed their campsite. Brad Ginn, one of the campers, said the individuals also said it was Bigfoot country, which seemed a little weird he would say that. The individual then informed them that he was searching for whatever had destroyed his campsite and warned them to be careful. Madeline Durand, a camper, said, I hope you have weapons, and then he flashed his gun at us and was like, I have this, so if anything happens to you, then just yell and I'll come. Yeah, I bet you will. Flashing his weapon, just yell, I'll come. Yeah. The couple then decided to head back to their tent, but moments later they heard gunshots. They dialed 911 and hiked 5 miles back to their car in the parking lot to meet up with the park rangers.
Is this at night?
I guess it is.
It's a bit dangerous, isn't it, hiking 5 miles at night?
I suppose it depends on what the track paths are like, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, if it's none of them nice sort of wide country sort of park paths, it's alright if you're going up a mountain, then no.
You know, the sort of people that hike.
Yeah.
Perverse people. So, you know, God knows what they were up to at that time of night on the hiking trail.
Yeah. Hunting Bigfoots, apparently.
Well, yeah. And apparently they came across him, did they not? And each other, probably.
Mammoth Cave's Public Information Officer, Marley Schroer, stated Mammoth Cave National Park law enforcement rangers responded to a reporting of an individual with a firearm in one of our backcountry campsites in the early morning hours of Sunday, July 28th. The rangers made contact with all parties involved. It is an ongoing investigation at this time. It's also still safe to visit if you want to go to Mammoth Cave National Park. I don't like the fact that some blokes like, I'm going to shoot a Bigfoot.
Well, what?
Somebody smashed his camp up or not.
But how
Well, I hate to say it, but it is America. Sorry, Americans.
how did you think the Bigfoot story was going to go when somebody finally sees him? You think they're just going to take photos and that'll be enough?
Yeah. No, I think he's going to put on his top hat and get on his penny farthing bicycle and say, "Good day, sir."
They're going to
Go off.
fucking blow his fucking head off his shoulders and then reconstruct it in a lab. They're not going to let him live. They're going to capture one, then find out that it's the only one. Like, oh shit, maybe we should have caught him humanely. Oh well, we'll make a fucking exhibit and it'll be awesome.
Or someone will eat it.
But I don't think. This is a bit of a non-story, isn't it? What actually happened?
It's a bloke just shot his shotgun and
He's
then...
telling everyone there's Bigfoot about. He's trashed his campsite. He's
Well,
after him.
he told them, I'll look after you because I got this weapon. And he's trying to play off that he's fucking Rambo. But what's really happened is he's gone off a little bit, accidentally fired his shotgun because he's a fucking bumbling idiot and he's not Rambo. And then they're all like, is everything alright? He's like, Bigfoot. I saw a Bigfoot, managed to get off a shot. You're all safe now. But in reality, he was probably firing at a large squirrel.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Or a man in a Bigfoot costume.
Fired it by accident. I don't know. Either
Well,
way.
I saw Bigfoot and thought, friend of the show,
Yeah, well, anything Bigfoot related is relevant.
is welcome.
But
Very strenuous, this one, isn't it?
I feel that Bigfoot's involvement in this story is minimal.
Non-existent.
There was a sight. He said there was a sighting. He said he saw it. So there you go.
Fair enough.
It says alleged Bigfoot sighting.
Of course it's fucking alleged, because Bigfoot's not real.
Who'd you know?
I don't know. That's one of the things I'm open to a Bigfoot.
I bet you are. Said you'd fucking Ewok the other week, so I'm not surprised.
Yes, a fucking Ewok. A female Ewok.
So Bigfoot doesn't surprise me.
I'd fuck a female Bigfoot.
There you go.
Just for the story. I'm an adventurer. What did
What
those
was
lads
going
say?
where no man has been before?
Exactly. What did those lads say that got caught at the border of Area 51? We're adventure seekers. We're adventure seekers. That's what I am. I'm an adventure seeker.
You like it dangerous.
I certainly do.
Alright.
I think
Don't
you
get
could
big
have.
for AIDS.
I think you could have
Rubber up,
Ewok-
be safe.
If I get Ewok AIDS.
Oh god,
I've got
imagine.
Endor AIDS.
Imagine if you
I'm
give
growing a tree out my arse.
What if you give
So-
BD to the last few surviving Bigfoots and kill them?
What if I give which I haven't got fucking
No, we know you
herpes,
haven't got
but
it.
if I gave herpes to the Ewok population and then they all died out, I would obviously I'm not going to admit to being patient zero. I would just.
Oh, you got it as well? Yeah, me too.
I'd
You
probably-
did what the Empire couldn't do.
I'd probably just join the Empire.
Promote you
I did it with venereal disease. They tried death lasers and spaceships and walking robots. I just fucked a few Ewoks with a dirty dick.
They'd probably
A whole
give you,
different film, wouldn't it?
they'd probably give you your own Star Destroyer.
Wait, General Leia, you want me to do what? Listen, you're the only soldier in the platoon who's got gonorrhea. How'd you know that? Oh, we know everything, we got computers. Yeah, you got to find an Ewok, seduce it. How'd you seduce an Ewok? Well, you've got to experiment.
You'd have to go undercover, I think.
Paint yourself in gold.
Oh yeah, get yourself gold. Yeah.
I don't know, I reckon to seduce an Ewok you'd just need some berries or something.
I don't know. All I really know is that it's the worst of the original trilogy, so I'm fed up with talking about it.
No, I don't mind. That's what I find amusing is that people love Return of the Jedi,
I don't.
and then you don't represent all people. I hate to break it to you.
I'm just saying I'm bucking the trend.
But people have a problem with the silliness of the Phantom Menace. But look at the fucking Ewoks.
Oh yeah.
They're fucking teddy bears. And I love Empire. Empire's great. Yeah, I mean, Return of the Jedi. I love it. The opening's awesome. It doesn't make much sense, to be honest. Luke's whole rescue, if you really break down that rescue at the start,
Yeah.
it's a little bit nonsensical, to be honest with you.
Well, it is. It's all very sort of, I hope this goes like this.
Yeah, and like, how did...
I don't think it's going to destroy R2 when he gets there, otherwise I've got no backup plan.
And so, like, was the plan to get captured?
Yeah.
But it's a stupid plan.
Of course it
You're
is.
a Jedi. You could just... What he did on the barge...
You could have just done...
Just do that in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
And anyway.
But Jedis don't want, to harm people, do they? If they don't have to.
He's going there on a purpose rescue mission, like...
Rescue mission, not a revenge mission.
Wow.
Well, he knows it's going to get ugly, though, doesn't he?
He gave him a choice, didn't he? Didn't he say, like...
Oh, yeah, give me my friends or you'll be destroyed, yeah.
Very true.
This thing's a bit of a fuck up, though, isn't he, Skywalker?
Not really.
If anyone's going to fall over at the wrong moment, it's going to be him.
No, he's a Jedi Master, son.
Only by default.
By default, he's the son of the most powerful
Yeah,
Jedi.
he's had 3 days training, Gaz.
So he's a Mary
So
Sue.
he's a master. Well, yes.
So he's a Mary Sue, but nobody called him a Mary Sue because he's a man. But
That's
everyone
because the term
complains
hadn't been
about.
invented then.
But everybody complains about Ray. It's the same thing.
That's
But
because the
she's a
term
woman.
hadn't been invented then.
Yeah, but it's still.
I mean, every...
Let's move on.
Yeah. Alright.
We get bogged down in this.
Semantics.
Yeah. Camera shows cat trying to murder owner while he sleeps.
I thought I'd put this in because you two are cat
Wow.
owners.
Yeah, thanks. A Twitter user claimed he was having trouble breathing in his sleep, so he set up a camera to see what was going on at night. What he saw, however, was somehow both adorable and also terrifying. His cat can be seen getting closer to his face until it eventually just sits directly on his face, blocking his nose and mouth. It's unclear if the cat is actively trying to murder him or just getting cosy, but it does look very comfortable in some of the photos. I had this in a way. I was staying at a friend's house one night. I woke up and the cat was lying across my neck like that. I was like, I'm starting to breathe. I was like, fucking hell. It did it again. I went to sleep and it did it again.
Maybe your neck's just really warm.
But you know the old. I don't know if it's an old.
Cat's in it.
Well, it is an old wives' tale, but it's also true. It's based in truth that cats kill babies by doing this very exact thing.
They probably do, yeah.
It's happened enough for it to become an old wives' tale where you leave the baby sleeping in the cot, the cat's looking for a nice warm cosy place, and it lies right on the baby's face and the baby dies. I guess it was just doing it to an adult. I'd like to think that he was just, it was the warmest part.
Well, it does say some Twitter users were quick to respond. One saying, my cat used to do this to me. I only found out because I woke from my recurring dream of suffocating. He was sprawled out on my face. What an awful recurring dream to have. Another user shared a similar, if only slightly creepier story, posing, I've woken up with my cat nose to nose, just staring me dead in the eyes. Oh, that cat be gone. Oh.
That's worse. There must be something about, because our cat in the morning comes up by our heads.
Apparently, another user said it's a more down-to-earth explanation, saying they can feel your pulse, it's calming.
What, on your face?
Maybe on your neck.
I guess.
Same reasons cats want to lay on a person's chest.
No, one person said that cat's trying to suffocate. That cat is trying to suffocate you in your sleep. That's attempted murder, not love.
Yeah, ours seems to migrate. He sleeps all night at the bottom of the bed, and then in the morning, I think it's because he knows that's how to wake us up. He comes up to the top end and will try and get comfy around your head somewhere, which obviously isn't comfy, and you wake up. I don't know if he's just learnt that, basically.
I'm surprised you let him sleep on the bed. I wouldn't have an animal in the room.
No.
Yeah, he's alright. Mine sits on the bed at the bottom.
I'm not one of these people who thinks cats are dirty or smelly.
No, it's just that
they're not.
I don't want an animal crawling on me.
It's not good.
Well,
I don't think scientists and doctors advise sleeping with animals.
I used to let the dog sleep on the
Yeah.
bed.
No, my dog doesn't go upstairs at all.
Yeah. Oh, you can't really.
Yeah, but your dog's a fucking horse.
Yeah. You can't really train a cat. The only way to stop it ever going on the bed would be to
Just close the door.
never allow it in the room.
Yeah, just close the door.
You can't keep doors closed with 2 children. It's impossible.
Valid point.
Plus, we don't mind. We really don't mind. It's nice and cosy. He's
It's
warm.
kind of nice to be wanted.
It's comforting. Although I did read online, it's a dominant. He's actually displaying his dominance over you
Yeah.
because he's like, yeah, I own this bit too.
Yeah, he pisses on my bed. Sick on my bed.
Well, that's not happened so far, but yeah. Anyway, should we move on from our pet habits?
Yeah. I thought this was interesting.
Anger as man turns his disability scooter into taxi for late night drinkers. That's very enterprising.
It is.
A man who turned his mobility scooter into a taxi service has left local taxi drivers fuming. Residents have reported the man, often seen in the area around Debenhams in Torquay, from around midnight onwards, charging drinkers for a ride between pubs or for a lift home. One taxi driver, who wished to remain anonymous, said he had seen about 5 people hanging off the side at times.
See?
Oh, sorry. Who made this fucking mobility scooter? Yeah, I mean, it's like a Land Rover mobility scooter carrying 6
5
fully
people hanging
grown
off the
adults.
side. I mean, lift between pubs, fair enough, but a lift home, I mean, I live like, I said 10, 15 minutes if I went on night out, drive home. He's not going to take the air, is he?
You see it zooming around the harbour area and Debenhams, charging around with flashing lights on. It has to be seen to be believed, said the angry driver. I think he has put a mattress on it, and he goes from pub to pub, picking up people and dropping them off. He charges for it too.
Entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
But see, like we were saying off mic, anybody who tries to buck the system or live outside of the arranged system gets punished and shut down. Like this guy, he's not hurting anyone, he's just making some money.
He should have a licence.
He's got to be licensed up. He's got to be
insurance.
He's got to have his background check. And,
well, that's important.
You know, I wish they'd do them in Telford because fuck me.
They do.
I wish they'd do them better in Telford. Just Google it, listener, if you're unsure. People outside London must apply for their local council for a licence to drive a taxi or a private hire vehicle. They must be able to work legally in the UK and have held a full GB or Northern Ireland licence or a full EU driving licence for at least a year. Applicants must also be, quote, fit and proper person, which means their background and character will be checked.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. I agree.
No.
You know, not all bureaucracy is bad, not all health and safety is bad. It is designed to keep us alive. Along with calling for a taxi home, there are a whole host of inconveniences to consider when it comes to having your car stolen. Where did that come from?
I have no idea. Oh, this is obviously some kind of article now. It's telling you how to keep your car safe, and you can stop reading.
Well, this guy, you know, fair play to him, it's all well and good. It's just, he's fucked if somebody falls off of his scooter.
Well, I was thinking that.
Cracks their head open. He's got no public liability insurance.
What's he going to do? Just leave him there to die in the gutter?
Yeah. It's
they're drunk, they just bounce. Drunk people bounce.
Yeah. Fair play to him. Although, to be honest, to these drinkers, I would say, pull your fucking fingers out, because I've made some serious distances whilst unbelievably shit-faced.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Mobility scooters are pretty fucking slow. How fucking...
This one does about 20 miles an hour, apparently.
What?
Yeah,
maybe downhill.
Yeah, I don't think it does that with 5 large drunk men attached
well, that's
to
what
it.
it said on there.
Well,
Some
my
bloke
point
said
is,
he goes about
how
20
drunk
miles.
and lazy do you need to be that you would, rather than walk to the next pub, you'd rather precariously hang to the side of a shitty mobility scooter being driven by some fucking lunatic
who's supercharged it.
charging you a £5. Just walk.
Well, you're putting calories in with the booze, man. You got to burn them calories off. You're drinking. The walking's good for you. Bit of fresh air, sober you up a little bit.
What part of the world was it? Torquay?
Yeah.
Torquay and Devon. Well, if you're in Torquay, look out for the mobility scooter taxi.
Let us
Apparently
know
he's
if
got
there's one.
flashing lights on it, so...
Use it at your own risk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
let
blame
us,
me.
let us know if this is real. That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, maybe we should go on holiday to Torquay and try and find him, interview him for the show.
Track him
That'd be
down.
thrilling.
Hunt him like an animal.
Yeah. So how did you lose the use of your legs? Oh, I could use them fine. I'm just... Why have you got a mobility scooter then? Lazy. Which is, I hate to say this, now, this might be somewhat controversial, but the rise in mobility scooter usage must be in like the 500%
Oh,
in like
fuck
the
yeah.
last 5 years. They are fucking everywhere. And for my job, I'm all over the country, all different parts of the country every day. There is a massive, I would say, largest percent of the users that are using them using them by choice.
I use them, they're fucking lazy.
They are not using them out of necessity, I'm telling you.
How do you know? Do you get out and push them out and say,
No.
get up?
Yeah, that's what I do every time. I just literally just get out and push him off it.
So what's happened in the last 5 years, there's been a massive rise in nondescript leg injuries. Nah, man. There's a massive percent of people who are just like, you know what? Fuck walking. I've done enough of that in my life. I'm not going to do it
It's mainly
anymore.
because they're fucking fat.
Fat, yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. They're fucking fat, they don't want to walk.
I was trying to avoid it, but
No,
yeah.
let's just call it what it is.
And certain old people that like I think could walk, some of them are just like I said, nah, I've done enough of that. And I'm not. This is why I said this might be controversial, but I haven't got a problem with it. It's fine. It's just I've noticed it. There's loads of them. They're a danger. You know, they go on the road. They got no road tax. They got no insurance. They got no license plate. But they'll just get on a fucking major A road, right? And just be going with 40-ton trucks stuck behind them and having to go round them and that. And
I think there is a law, isn't it? You can't have them.
and they're completely fucking ignoring that.
Oh,
law.
yeah.
They just go, fuck it, I'm 80. You can't tell me what to do.
I have a special hatred for some chap in Dawley on one who I see him. He's got a trike one. Every day that fucking thing's parked outside the pub, and I know for a fucking fact that cunt can walk because I've seen him walking his dog.
Exactly.
In fact, I nearly punched him when walking the dog. His
You
dog
nearly
went for
punched
mine.
the disabled.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
man.
his dog went for mine, and all he was like, I'm disabled, and I'm like, oh, fucking keep your dog on the lead then, mate.
Or I'll punch you.
No, but it came close. He was like quite heated at one point.
Says he's not fascist.
He got quite heated at one point. He was also probably about 60.
Listen, you. Get that dog on a lead. I'm going to knock you out of that fucking wheelchair.
Yeah, his dog's going to leave him.
Why are you so bothered? If he wants to be in a fucking chair, let him. It's up to him, innit?
I was just, his dog was going for mine.
No, I know, but that wasn't the reason why you're angry to begin with.
Oh no, that's why my anger is now directed at him, because I know he can walk, but he turns up every day in his wheelchair, goes to the fucking pub.
When you went to punch him, was he in the wheelchair?
He got off the wheelchair.
That's slightly better.
No, he got off it to control his dog.
Get out of that wheelchair! Get out of it now and I'll knock you back in.
It did get quite heated at one point. I thought I was going to start throwing punches. Genuinely. I think we should end the show. I think we should end this segment.
But for most people walking the dogs, it's
Yeah, it should be
really
relaxing.
peaceful, relaxing.
Yeah, and it is 99 times out of 100.
Ben gets into fights with disabled people.
He's not disabled.
Elderly people.
There's fuck all wrong
Elderly
with him.
disabled people.
There's fuck all wrong with him. He's fine. He can walk a dog.
That's a big insight into you, Ben.
He can walk to the
I'll
fucking...
punch you so hard it'll straighten your fucking spine out.
Hey, he can walk to the fucking bar, guys, alright?
Suplex.
If I want a DDT him, that's up to me.
I would just love you. Even if he started it and you had to defend yourself and you quite rightly knocked him out, but then just trying
With
to
the police.
justify yourself to the police.
Yeah, because he was in some woods as well, that's the worst. So there was no cameras around.
You left a disabled man unconscious in the woods.
No, they put him in the recovery position. Called an ambulance, maybe.
Then did I run it?
Then did a runner. No, I wouldn't. I'd not be mobile. They'd be able to track me.
Either way, it's not gonna. There's no way you can come out of it.
And I put him in the recovery position. Does that count as anything?
They should put him back in his chair. And, I don't know.
Scooter. It's a scooter.
Okay,
It's not a chair.
But
It's a scooter.
It's a mobility scooter, though, isn't it?
He can walk
And
to the
although I
fucking...
started this by complaining about people
Look,
who don't really need
He
it.
can walk to the fucking bar, alright?
I
With
did
the
say
fucking
I was
party inside the pub every day. Cunt.
Oh yeah, he's probably got a special pub scooter that takes him from the door to the bar. But you often see them parked outside pubs. Which again just backs up my point, doesn't it? Like you drive it to the pub door.
Yeah.
But
Have 10 pints, drive it home on the road.
oh, who am I kidding? I'm gonna have one soon.
Soon?
Yeah, soon. Fuck it, if they can have them. Why have I got to walk if they don't have to? If they
Well,
can take up all that extra space in shops that are not big enough or built for fucking giant people on fucking shitty little mobility scooters, why can't I be one of those people? I tell you why, I've got self-respect.
And you're not
Yeah.
30 stone.
But I would have a mobility scooter if you could paint it like, I don't know, something cool like the DeLorean or Optimus Prime or, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'd use it. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Excellent.
Right, we just do a little bit of a recap. The Bhagwan Rajneesh buys some land in America, buys a ranch. All his followers come over. They build a city, with an airport, with a mall. They turn the desert green. It's a veritable paradise. It's all done by their hard work and the fact that they've got a lot of money. They're a very, very wealthy organisation.
And most of the American members were like sort of well-to-do, college-educated types who all had specialities in fields of expertise that were used.
Architects,
engineers.
So there's a lot of engineers, architects. There are a lot of brilliant minds there, or maybe not brilliant. A lot of good, highly educated minds there who were useful.
Yeah.
And they put those people to use, and like you say, it was at this point, it's a pretty awesome place. It's a pretty awesome achievement. Bit shit on the locals.
Yes, the nearby town of Antelope is full of sort of retired white people. There's only 50 of them. They don't like these few thousand people. Some of them are brown.
There's probably 50 people on my street.
Yeah.
There's definitely more than 50 people on this street we're on now. It's not even a village, is it? It's like a collection of houses.
Yeah, it's probably, you know what, it's probably like a crossroads and the houses are in the four sort of corners. And there's, that's pretty all it is.
50 people.
They didn't like it because you've got a bunch of people wearing only red showing up and having meditation orgies. Quite liberal. Free to do.
A lot of orgies.
And they sort of have this uneasy sort of life together until the Rajneeshis buy the town up, basically. Empty lots, they offer people money. To move, and they're paying the market price, and people move.
Did we discuss last week that it's just a small detail, but they wanted to set up in the town of Antelope, this tiny town, like a print factory, wasn't it, to print Rajneesh's books?
Yeah.
And they were turned down. Basically, the planning, whoever was in charge, basically said that we don't have enough water out here to sustain 150 employees of this proposed factory. We just haven't got the water, so no. Them being turned down for that then lionised Sheila, the second in command, and that's why they sort of went on this drive to then, well, fuck it then, we'll buy the whole place up.
And they had the money at that point.
And they also politically took over the town.
Yes, because they had more residents than there were residents. And the mayor of Antelope, it wasn't elected, it was whoever wanted the job. Because they just weren't bothered. It had to have a mayor, but no one was really fussed who it was. Only 50 of us anyway. We all know each other. You do it this week. It's just an admin, isn't it, more than anything? Making a few decisions. So when, of course, all these the Rajneeshis, the sannyasins, who were the followers, sort of jump onto the town council all of a sudden, well, they just getting voted for everything. And it comes to a point where in 1982 they held a vote to disincorporate itself from the United States.
So it became its own private...
No, they're committing suicide as a town. We're saying this community does not exist anymore.
It's so petty, it's spiteful, isn't it? Like, well, if we can't have it how we want it, we'll get rid of it and just destroy it.
Yeah, but they did turn the burger joint into a fucking like a sushi place.
Did they?
Yeah, like a holistic food kind of place. It's like, the diner where you get those beautiful flame grilled quarter pounders.
Yeah, that sent me over the edge.
I'm still convinced that they wouldn't have encroached on Antelope if they let them
if they just let them be, they'd have been fine.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's when they started persecuting them, that's when the Rajneesh sort of fought back.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were getting attacked in ways. I mean, and there was a real attack in the June of 1983. The Hotel Rajneesh, owned by the Rajneesh Corporation and Bhagwan, and Sheila as well, I'd imagine she's got her fingers in there, in Bhagwan, maybe, in Portland, allegedly by the Islamist military group Jamaat al-Fuqra. Apparently, but the guy, I think we all watched the same documentary today, didn't we? Or certainly recently. The guy was pretty American sounding to me, but for some reason he'd been radicalised by this group. We did say last week that why would an Islamic fundamentalist group bother with this? Yeah. Didn't seem legit to us, did it?
No.
This further heightened tensions because obviously the Rajneeshs don't believe for a fucking minute that American bloke has been radicalised. And also remember as well, in the 80s, you got the CIA, the height of its powers in the 80s, they're looking at the Russians, but they're looking everywhere else too. They're bringing all that sweet, sweet crack.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we joked last week about did anyone in Antelope have the know-how to build a bomb, but this wasn't in. This was in Portland.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
So I think it's the capital of Oregon, or certainly a big city.
I think it is, yeah.
So it might have had nothing to do. It might have been somebody on their behalf. It might have just been the government. I don't know. It could have been anyone trying to send a message to them. Because the government couldn't have been too impressed with them at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no.
Who do you think they are?
Well, yeah, because they did actually. There was talk of them sending in the National Guard to deal with them. Yeah, the National Guard is like.
They bought the
comes the
helicopters and the guns at this point.
Yeah, they've got this. Well, this leads on to that. So they have this hotel bombing, and Sheila says, "Because we're not Christians, you attack us, and we're not going to turn the other cheek." Which, to a point, I admire. They brought in an armoury of .357 Magnum revolvers, semi-automatic Uzi carbines, and Galil assault rifles from Israel, along with tear gas grenades, barricade-penetrating shells of police riot guns, and, as we mentioned, Gaz mentioned a second ago, a few scout helicopters.
Yeah. This is where it all goes.
See, this is what I'm saying. If you're the governor of Oregon, or whatever, what state are we in? Oregon. You're the governor of Oregon looking at this. It's not going to sit very well with you, is it?
No, well, all of a sudden you've got
what?
You've got a cult or a religion. They're going to say they're a cult.
Yeah.
Rajneesh will say they're a religion. The government will say they're a cult.
I say what's the difference, but go on.
You say religion, I say cult. Let's call the whole thing off. Well, yeah, that's it. And they've got a sizable armoury. They've got some helicopters. They're training people to use them. They're trying to buy fully automatic weapons.
Exactly. It's going to start giving ideas into other people's heads. So, hang on a minute. You know, why can't we organise ourselves?
And
that's why you have to stamp it out.
And you'd had Jonestown in the late 70s, where a heavily armed cult all ended up committing suicide.
They were quite worried that this was going to go the way of Jonestown.
Did Waco happened at this point? I don't think it had.
No, Waco's later than that.
Yeah. So yeah, they're thinking Jonestown.
That's the immediate comparison, isn't it?
But as for organising yourselves, well, do you know there's like a few hundred unofficial state militias floating around? You ever heard of these guys in America?
No.
Oh yeah, they're state militias, because it's under the Constitution. You have the right to bear arms and defend yourself, don't you? And they can form these militias. They're unofficial, and they're a bunch of usually fat white men in camouflage fatigues who go to the woods every one weekend a month, shoot at some targets, and show off their gun collection to each other. But they're an unofficial
army here.
No, not really, because it's unofficial.
Okay.
They're supplying their own guns and uniforms, but constitutionally they're allowed to do it.
Fucking
yeah.
God dang Constitution!
You have to admire it in a way. It was written with good intentions.
Yeah, but hasn't it just caused so much shit because people can do stuff and then claim it's...
At the time though, mate, it's one of the most important, liberating documents the world ever seen.
Yeah. Even though I always find it ironic that the first line is like, all men are created equal. And they had slavery for like another 200 years. You know, well, that's not very equal, is it?
Yeah, but they didn't class them as men, did they?
I suppose not.
As beasts. So therefore
property.
So therefore livestock. So therefore you can get around that.
Yeah. I still find it
that's the trouble with words. Is they're quite vague. You know what I mean? That's why law is so difficult, because it's about interpreting the law.
That's what the Druids never wrote anything down, you know.
What does the pursuit of happiness even mean?
Well, I don't know. Asad al-Amri
wrote it. He wrote a book on it.
But it's in the Constitution, isn't it? You're right to
exactly.
The pursuit of
happiness and liberty, or something like that.
So it's very vague, isn't it?
Well, what makes me happy, officer, is masturbating in this public square.
Is that what you said before?
Well, that's what I said when I went to America for my very brief visit. And,
never to return again.
The officer was having none of it, I will tell you. As much as I protested about
your constitutional
rights and the amendments, and I'm a goddamn American. And sir, put your penis away.
Did you have an American flag headscarf on.
Yeah.
And a denim jacket. Were you in double denim with a denim jacket with a double-headed with an eagle on the back?
I had red and white nipple tassels.
Wow.
But yeah, still forcibly at gunpoint was told to put my penis away.
Where's the liberty, Gaz? Where's the freedom?
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, constitutions not worth the paper they're written on.
Which is why the Druids never wrote anything down, because once you write something down, it becomes fixed. You can argue about it for fucking years. If nothing's written down, it's retold and it can become fluid. It can change the situation.
So if it was never written down, I would have been able to say to the officer, but is it against the law for me to wank off in public? Is it though?
Yeah, because with them over there, they say it's all right.
Yeah. Are you remembering that correctly? Because I'm pretty sure it said that, I'm free to pursue masturbational happiness in public. And then he'd be second guessing himself, like, I'm not sure.
He'd probably just shoot you in America.
Yeah, that's true.
Ironically, we only need one law. That's the golden law. The golden rule.
Don't be a cunt.
Basically.
What is it though? What's the actual...
Well, it's something like doing to yourself what you do to others, like what you don't want done to you.
Right.
Sort of thing. Unless you're obviously a sadomasochist.
So don't punch my missus in the back of the head during sexual intercourse, especially if we're doing missionary. Sorry. That was awful.
Yeah, whatever gets you off.
That was an awful joke.
So let's carry on.
Back to the cult.
Back to the cult. Or religion. I'm still calling them religion at this point. The weapons brought into the community heightened tensions between the Rajneeshs and the state of Oregon, with the commune becoming embroiled in legal disputes. Also worth pointing out, they had their own police force. It was called the Peace Force. They wore pink.
They did.
And they had little pink peaked caps, which I thought, well, wow, look at them. Aww.
And they had
And they got
badges.
Uzis.
And they're carrying Uzis.
They look like the security force from the Pride Parade.
If
you were holding the security force from the Pride Parade.
What was the Marilyn Manson, the Dope Show video?
Right.
Watch that. All the cops, it was riot cops, they're all in pink.
There you go.
There you go, yeah.
It looks a bit like that. It's comical, but also weird because they are wearing like aviator shades, like your typical 80s cop, and holding a fucking semi-automatic machine gun style.
He's got a big moustache. He's thinking that he's Tom Selleck in a
He's got full
YE50.
Magnum.
And he's thinking, I've got full Magnum PI, but I just wish I had a better shirt.
But he's also he's in a bright pink clothes because he's the fucking policeman of a cult. It's so weird, and it's in Oregon. It's in the desert, more or less. Well, not desert, that's
Midwest,
not right, but
isn't it?
it's in a
It is
rocky.
some parts of it the desert, aren't they?
It's
I thought Oregon's on the coast, isn't it?
No, it's pretty central.
No, it's on the coast, isn't it?
I generally got no idea.
By Washington.
No, it's further over than that.
We could find out, but remember, listener, you are the fact checker.
I'm pretty sure Oregon is Midwest.
So,
As we fucking watched 2 documentaries on this, we should know this. We really should know this.
but if the listener hasn't seen the documentaries, I encourage you to. What's the one on Netflix called?
Wild Wild Country.
Wild Wild Country. Because just for this image alone, I hope we're painting it a visual, verbal picture for you. Like, it's the early 80s. They've set up their own. They've took over this tiny town, built their ranch right next to it, and they've taken over the local police.
No, they are the local police.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a local. They've taken over the town legally and politically. They hold power, so they are now the police. They're dressed all in pink. They've got weird-looking machine guns, Uzis,
and a Gallon assault rifles.
They're not the sort of things that you see police officers with. Although, you know what I'm saying, you see police officers with machine guns, but not. They look a bit more street or a bit more what you'd see an 80s...
A drug criminal.
holding that sort
drug
of gun.
lord. Guarding his fucking mansion.
Yeah, but he's guarding his commune.
Every drug lord worth his salt has got a gold-plated Uzi.
Yeah.
You just have.
Well, he stood there in his Peace Force uniform, which is essentially the same as a police uniform, only pink. It's
3
got
of
the
them had been
badges.
to a police academy and passed quite high up in the
Yeah,
class,
they
so
passed
were
with
so,
flying colours.
yeah, so it was all legit. They were a police force.
And then trained a few others. But the thing is, that still doesn't mean that the people they trained... So the 3 that went on the actual police course and passed, right, they did well. They
By all
did well
accounts.
at the test. That does not then mean that they will become good trainers or teachers themselves or do a good job of passing
No,
that
but
knowledge
remember,
on.
you're also policing a town full of people who are there for peace and love.
Well, that's true.
You know, there's probably zero crime. All you are is a visible deterrent. I bet you most of them guys, at this point, never arrested anyone because there's no booze. Remember? There might be some drugs. I don't know. They're saying there's none.
Oh, there was some drugs that they gave to people forcibly when they tried to leave.
Yes, but we'll get on to that.
We'll get to that. Also, there are all the drugs that they fed to the army of homeless people that they bust in order to win a local election. But we'll get to that.
So yeah, however, he says, Oregon Attorney General David B. Mayer maintained the city was the arm of a religious organisation and that it violated the principle of the separation of church and state. And I do see that argument. You've got policemen in religious garb.
Yeah.
That's a concern.
A
Who do they serve? Who are they looking after? Are they looking after the people or are they looking after the Bhagwan?
The Almighty God.
It's not, well, nowadays, American churches, in the wake of some church shootings, have petitioned to have their own armed police officers in the church and around the church. While there's
wouldn't like
services
bulletproof glass be more useful?
Well, not if he's already inside.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but don't.
Hide behind the window. I'm inside though. Excuse me, if I run round you, thank you.
But how does the guy with the gun help? I don't get it. Because somebody starts shooting. What if they shoot him first?
On the pulpits, you should have like
Motion
sensitive sentry guns.
Yes.
Anyone
like an Android cop.
Yeah. Senses, I don't know, a gun or something.
Yeah, senses a gun in there. You'd have to have this.
Well, it could be armed by bishops. Some guy pulls out a gun.
No, because they'll just be shooting kids' fathers. Come see me after, son. You're all alone now. The Lord obviously wanted your mommy and daddy shot in the face. So they were. And now you're with me. That's what will happen if the bishops are in charge of the guns, Mike.
It should be just like detect threat
You'll
levels.
be forced to. You'll be noncing at gunpoint.
Yeah. Imagine if he fits into an exoskeleton on his back.
I just think close the churches. That'd be easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If people keep shooting them, just close them.
It would work, would help. But then,
Stop going. Why does God need you to go to a special house? Can't you just have faith on your own couch?
That's what Homer Simpson tried to do.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And listen to the football in his headphones. What a guy. Right? An American hero.
He's gonna burn in hell though.
Bah.
Nah, he's a good dude.
He's burning in hell.
Hell's not real. That's my hot take.
Is it not?
No.
The point is...
Wow, that's just blew my mind.
Let's write a metal song, Hell's Not Real. So just do anything you want, basically. That'd be the gist of it. Yeah.
Don't break the law, then.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not encourage people to break the law and kill people.
No, it'd be metal stuff like, hell's not real, so, let's do anal and some blow. Oh yeah, baby, here we go.
I've seen a Steel Panther style song for this
that's what I
one,
mean.
yeah. Like a proper
Hell's
80s,
not real.
proper 80s
Sing
hair
that at
metal.
your cult congregation.
While we're all doing anal.
This is the anal and blow fucking cult.
I don't take donations in cash, it's pure cocaine only.
And anal.
Although I am the giver. But I'd probably get bored of it and end up receiving at some point. To be
Put
perfectly
him in a
honest.
power bottom, guys. He's quite wiry.
No,
You got
I'm
some
a
new
top.
phone. You got
I'm a
strength.
selfish top.
You got strength from lifting all the tins of paint. Your power bottom. What about?
I know, selfish top all the way. I'm the
Can you take
heterosexual
the strap?
selfish top.
Can you take the strap on of destiny?
What do I receive apart from a sore ass? What do I benefit?
You may see the future.
I'll see that anyway, I'll just wait for it to happen. I don't need to take anything up
Wait
the
for
arse.
it to happen.
Exactly. How else do you get to the future? There's no special machine.
You might not prophesy.
You just sit here and wait till it gets there. That's how you get to the future.
I bet that was happening with the Rajneesh cult.
Yes, and
Anal and blow parties.
I'm not taking it up the arse.
Aim for the betterment of mankind.
The spiritual evolution of mankind. Do you want to make that
mankind.
sacrifice?
Fuck the spiritual evolution. Fuck the
Following
The spiritual evolution of mankind is not important. The structural integrity of my anal tract is important. So yeah, fuck mankind. Get that dildo away from me. But it's the dildo of destiny. That doesn't sway me.
Has he got a bejeweled hilt?
It's gonna chafe.
Should we go back to the cult?
If it was bag ones, it'd have a jeweled sheath.
Well,
alright.
No, it would have a Rolls Royce badge thing. It would have that fucking fairy thing.
Have we dipped in the holy lube before it's in We'll do a pray over the KY.
It's thrice blessed.
It's not going to make it any easier on my arse.
No, it's been blessed 3 times.
Oh, fuck me.
Anyway,
Right.
moving on.
How very childish of us, gentlemen.
Funny though.
Yeah, that's right. Stuffing bums is funny. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
The group 1000 Friends of Oregon claimed the city broke state land law use. In 1983, a lawsuit was filed by the state of Oregon to invalidate the city's incorporation, and many attempts to expand the city were legally blocked, prompting followers to build in Antelope, which was now named Rajneesh. They didn't even keep the name.
Well, what should they? It's theirs, mate.
That's true.
Call it what they want.
In the city is obviously Rajneesh Param. This is like the suburb of Rajneesh, where you can have nude sunbathing.
Excellent.
They set aside an area of waste ground for nude sunbathing. I'm down with this, cool.
It's fine unless
Oh, there's no seagulls in it.
unless your kids are wandering around. You know what I
You
mean?
never saw any children in them documentaries, did you?
So
You
people
didn't,
had them
did
though,
you?
didn't they? Didn't they have them
I
there?
didn't see many.
I didn't see any.
I can't remember now.
I don't think I did.
I only ever saw adults. I'm sure of it. I never saw kids.
So
with,
they're eating the children,
She-
my god.
Well, Sheila probably she probably chemically castrated everyone in their sleep
Probably.
with injections.
You know what doesn't surprise me actually. But no, weirdly, none of the people who've been in that cult ever mentioned children being around.
Good point, that. Thinking back, I don't remember seeing any.
I've just thought about it now, and not
Probably
one
for
of
the
them says,
best,
"Oh,
as they were constantly fucking each other.
Well, yeah.
Like, all day, every day.
But then you'd think, a lot of fucking is going to be a lot of kids.
Then again, it's the 80s. You had the AIDS epidemic where they
So they're all
all condoming up.
No, there was a lot of. Apparently, there was a lot of sexual diseases passed about.
they were pulling out and finishing.
Well, yeah, they were like literally raping them in them fucking
Well, they were.
violent scenes.
In their weird
What are they
ritual
called? Yeah.
things,
Meditations.
where you're encouraged to physically manifest your dark thoughts and feelings. So they end up they were so violent that they were broken bones at times.
So best not have kids about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sexual violence in those I'm doing air quotes for the listener, meditation sessions. Find the footage online.
If it's all adults, then I've got no problem.
Yeah, rape away. Joking, obviously joking. We don't joke about rape. Moving on.
As the city expanded with the addition of the Rajneesh, fundamentalist Christian church leaders began to denounce them. Denounce the Bhagwan, the commune, and his followers. Letters to state newspapers reviled the group, one likening Rajneesh Param to Sodom and Gomorrah, and another referring to them as a cancer in our midst.
Wow.
And this is where Sheila basically says, "You're all bigoted."
I think the
Which is
exact
the
quote,
point.
Yeah.
this town is so fucking bigoted it deserves to be taken over.
Yeah, that's pretty much the exact. I think she says state. This state is so
Or
fucking
state,
bigoted.
maybe, yeah. Well,
She'd always swear on the news things.
Yeah.
She'd get quite worked
She
up.
was a badass.
She was. She had some attitude.
She was fighting for,
At the start, I think she was fighting
for her life,
for
and
her life in the community.
also,
And then she somewhere on the line, when probably the drugs started
Uh.
coming into it, the uppers and downers.
don't underestimate her understanding of PR as well. And like
Well-
you just said, the drugs give the confidence as well to basically say whatever the fuck you want.
Would you argue that she's a bit of a proto-Alex in terms of her press conferences?
She was a master
Definitely,
of spin, essentially. there was some incident. What did they? Oh fuck! I've lost it. Sorry. Continue.
No.
It'll come back to me.
So the Rajneeshs decided basically to democratically win control of the county with their eyes on the state, which, as we said off air earlier, is no different than the Mormons did in Utah.
That's it.
But they're having a lot of immigration problems about Rajneesh, the bag one.
Well, of course, the powers that be.
They're looking for an excuse to get rid of them now, aren't they? They're trying to do it semi-legitimately. So,
I think it was legitimate though, because he is.
Well, he got a visa already.
No, but he'd applied for 2 different reasons,
Yeah.
and like he's a charlatan. He's
Well,
Yeah, they were found to be breaking the law.
Yeah, he applied for visas claiming failing health, but also citing he was a religious worker. So they were like, well, how can you have failing health? Well, do that. You have a full-time job and you got failing health.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I get you.
See what I'm saying? On the one application, he's like, oh.
Benefit Scrounger, that's what they got him on.
Basically.
Oh, like Al Capone with a tax evasion.
Yeah.
God,
Yes.
that's a great film, The Untouchables.
Do you know? I think it's one of the classics that I don't think I've ever seen.
Really?
Wow.
Is that Sean Connery?
Yeah, it's got a great
Yeah,
cast,
bring
hasn't
it.
it?
Oh,
When
Sean
they're
Connery,
going to a knife
Kevin
fight.
Costner.
Costner in his prime.
De Niro was Al Capone.
His prime was with the mullet in Robin Hood. I think he'll find.
Andy Garcia.
And the Postman.
The Postman. Fuck the Postman.
I love the Postman.
That's what my mum did. I like a few Kevin Costner films. It's a very short tangent. Come on. He's done a couple of like
The Untouchables, Robin Hood.
Dances with Wolves.
Dancing with Wolves. That's
I
what
never saw that.
That's good.
Never saw it.
Bill Durham, or what it was called. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, yeah. Build it and they will
fuck
come.
that.
Too much
The
heart.
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard. One of my mum's favourite movies.
Don't think I've seen that.
Oh, fair enough.
And
I was waiting for it. The Postman. He did something on Netflix I quite enjoyed recently. The
Some
Bonnie and
secret
Clyde
ag-
thing.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
That was alright.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah.
He did some secret agent-y action movie type thing.
Yes, he did. Not so long back. I don't think it did particularly well.
But yeah, anyway, Kevin Costner, what a guy.
What World?
What a world.
I gotta forget.
Yeah. I love that film, Robin Hood. Apart from one thing. They get to the forest, Sherwood Forest, in Nottingham, and they bump into Will Scott. Yeah, Will Scott. Because I love that film, apart from this. Will Scott. And there was a man from Nottingham.
Yeah.
He fell into a river. What a dope fell on a rope. Now look at him shiver. He doesn't even try. He's American as is possible to fucking be. In the middle of the fight, doesn't even try.
And also, it's not exactly great dialogue either, is it? It's a bit cringeworthy when you hear him say it now. You're like, ugh.
A bit racist as well. I think we've been through that.
Oh yeah, with it, Morgan Freeman. What does she call him?
Painted man.
The painted man.
The Painted Man.
He haunts my dreams. She literally says, "The painted man, he haunts my dreams." And you're like, whoa, calm down, love. But he's got a cool sword. Actually, one of my favourite bits of that film is when he gets that sort of relationship with Friar Tuck, where at the start he doesn't like, the Friar doesn't like him, and then at the end he's like, "Are you alright? You are."
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Bridging religions, guys. It's a positive message.
When he fires the arrow down the middle of the other arrow, that's
great.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for that.
Yeah.
Quality.
Anyway.
Great soundtrack as well.
Oh yeah, Brian Adams. I was #1 in this country for like
For weeks
a year.
and weeks.
16 weeks was it?
Oh, it was
Oh, man.
ridiculous. Everything I do.
Yeah. Was it only beaten by the Titanic? Fucking.
No,
not-
wet.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
and Meatloaf had a good shot at it as well with
Yeah.
I'll Do Anything for Love. That was
Yeah.
#1 for weeks.
I think it was
and then
wet that beat it, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I feel it with my fingers.
Oh, yeah.
I feel it with my toes.
This country's got some strange tastes in music though, hasn't it? Let's face it. We used to be really good at music in the sort of 60s, 70s and maybe in the 80s to a point.
I don't know, there was some shit in the 70s.
Let's have a cut off to the 60s and 70s.
There's been some shit in every decade. The fucking Birdie song.
Yeah. Alright, we don't need it. It's annoying enough to hear at every children's party.
Black Lace, British as well.
Black Lace.
Yeah, Agadoo.
Agadoo. Oh, come on. If we were pissed though, we'd love that.
No, we wouldn't.
We would.
Pissed
I
enough.
prefer the Superman one.
How does that one go?
You know
I don't know. No.
I know what you're on about.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing it.
There's the Time War. Alright. We used to do music pretty well, I know it's just all gone shit.
Well, what decade was the Laughing Gnome?
Hey? Never heard of that one.
No, the Laughing Policeman, that's it.
Oh, that's about the 50s, isn't it?
That's literally the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's
anyway,
always been
moving on.
shit music.
My old grand's a
shit
dustbin,
music.
isn't it?
My old man's a
That's
dustbin.
a quality song.
Not my old gran.
My old man's a dustbin.
That's like the 40s.
He wears a
That's
dustbin.
George. I think that's George Formby in all fairness.
He wears blimey trousers and he lives in a council flat. It's a quality song.
I'm sure that's the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Formby, I'm sure of it.
Dust. Fuck me, we've had some tangents today.
Yeah.
Sorry, listener, but that's just the way it goes.
So Sheila, who is the Bhagwan Rajneesh's private secretary and number 2 in the commune, did not help the cause with their strongly worded inflammatory language on local news networks, and she always had to swear, as we said. So the city is growing, their city is growing though. There's been a hotel built for visitors, there's malls, there's boutiques. American members are eventually told to marry foreign members so they can get visas to bring in more people. But the financial situation is deteriorating.
Too much money on fucking Rolls Royces.
Yes, Rolls Royces and gold watches and jewel encrusted bracelets and remember, this has cost a lot of money to do this. I mean, they've got their own fucking Rajneesh Air. They've got a fleet of coaches. You know, they've got.
And they're fighting legal battles.
And which are costing millions. But they've got at this point they've got 75% drop in financial gifts.
Unlucky.
And whichever way you look at it, it's a massive drop. And on Wild Wild Country at one point it says they're worth about sort of 50 to 60 million at their height. And that's in 1983 money. What's that nowadays? A couple of hundred, 500? Wouldn't have to say. So paranoia starts to grow a little bit. Because you've got an armed security force following Rajneesh whenever he leaves his house. People are starting to get a bit uneasy. They're working 12-hour days, 7 days a week.
I just thought of something. If they wanted to raise some funds legitimately, they could have released a record. They could have released a cover of "We Built This City." We built this city on pink dyed clothes. We built this city.
The best is watching some of him, and you're like, he's got like a pink boiler suit on.
Because they dyed it.
Oh man, it was weird. You know, why got the fucking hassle?
Well, it's a Buddhist
thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. They started off with the orange, and that's from Buddhism, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
is it a form of Hinduism? It's one of the religions. You know, they're all very similar. We built this city and he bought a Rolls.
That's it. That's the one. Another Rolls. Yeah.
Fuck me. Crazy.
And also remember that Sheila's tightening her grip now. It's almost become a dictatorship in a way, because she's got the wonderful excuse of the same as the Romans used to use. The Romans have a dictatorship and the enemy was the gates. They suspend all democratic voting with one man in charge, one man makes a decision. And in this scenario, you've got the bag one, but he's on a 10-year vow of silence. The enemy at the gates, she takes command, she makes the decisions.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Megatron and Starscream.
Right, you know what, Gaz? Thursday night, I wasn't feeling sleepy, so I put on Generation 1 on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
And I watched about 5 or 6 episodes. Yeah. You know what? Holds up.
Yeah, man, of course it does.
The storyline's still there. So it's good.
They were awesome looking robots. But But so you see, have you been watching it? Megatron, he's the almighty leader. Starscream to his face is like, yes, my mighty leader, of course.
Oh, he does give him some jip.
But behind his back, he's constantly trying to dethrone him and replace him. And he'll sell him out at a second's notice, but as soon as he gets caught, he's like, oh no, my almighty leader. And that just, reminds me of Sheila and the Bag One.
No, I think Sheila's the real power. The Bag One's just a figurehead at this point. The 10-year silence thing. I mean, at 2 o'clock every day, he goes to drive in his fucking rolls, and they all line up at the edge of the road and throw roses and throw flowers on his fucking bonnet of his Rolls Royce, and he gives them the old prayer symbol towards them, hands together.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much his entire shtick, wasn't it? He'd smile, but smile nicely, and put his hands in the prayer thing and do that and wave them towards him. And he looked the part for that. I'll give him his due. He looked the part. If you say to me, Indian Guru, he's the first chap that comes to mind. Just is.
Just strange that he encourages everyone to pretend to rape each other and beat each other up.
Yeah, so they...
I think he got corrupted, didn't he? I think...
Money.
Yeah.
Rolls Royces.
He got a taste of the high life, man. He came from humble beginnings.
Yeah, well, the Hollywood folk haven't come in yet. They're just about to. So people want to leave. You know what, I don't fancy this anymore. It's getting a bit fucking authoritarian here. We're all living in, our hotel got bombed, we've got threats against us.
Yeah.
I don't want to live here anymore.
People are walking around with machine guns,
Yeah. Someone expressed a desire to leave, which was often difficult as the person in question had sold everything to move to the commune. She would have them sedated anywhere from a few days to 3 weeks until they agreed to stay.
I mean, now we're getting into some serious fucking slave shit.
A woman named Sonia attempted to send a letter to Rajneesh complaining about Sheila. Well, at this point she's opening all the fucking correspondence.
Oh, of course.
It was intercepted, by her at his house. She ordered the woman to be sedated and her uterus removed. Fuck.
That's taking people's body.
No, I don't know. No, she ordered that to happen.
Did it happen?
It didn't say that it did.
Right.
It just said she ordered it to happen.
Yeah.
She wanted it to happen.
Should have been well.
Whether or not it happened or not, we don't know.
We're still
But the fact that she's ordering it as a punishment,
Yeah.
not give her a beating,
Yeah.
not make her work extra hours and cut her food. No, remove a piece of her body that makes her a woman.
It wasn't mentioned in the documentary though, was it?
It wasn't mentioned in Wild Wild Country. It was mentioned in one I
yeah.
watched this afternoon, which is Down the Rabbit Hole Productions, I think.
Yeah, it was Stephen Corbett, isn't it? Is his name Stephen Corbett?
I don't know. We'll find out at some point.
Anyway, it's definitely called. Just search Down the Rabbit Hole. Rajneesh. What's it called? Rajneesh.
Down the Rabbit Hole.
No, but what's the name of the city thing? Rajneesh
Rajneesh Param.
Param. Yeah, that's what you've got to Google.
Seeking funds in 1984, quote, the Hollywood people were allowed to join. They didn't work 12-hour days, 7 days a week.
No.
Were
And
they
they had
actual
their own
Hollywood?
little separate housing with luxury. They weren't. I don't think they were movie
Like,
stars.
yeah,
they were producers and stuff.
And yeah, there was the
Oh, yeah,
wife
that woman
of
who-
the director, the producer of Godfather.
That was it.
That's the one.
She was one of the producers.
She was probably
wasn't she?
yes, I think she might have been. I think she
Yeah,
was probably the highest profile name. They weren't. Well, certainly. I don't know. To be fair, because they all changed their names. It's hard to say.
To be fair, a high-level Hollywood producer is quite a powerful. There aren't that many of them, you know what I mean? It's quite
Well, it's
powerful.
producing, especially
position.
producing one of the most famous films of all time. I mean,
Yeah, well, obviously there are shitloads of producers, but I'm saying the elite few that have the power to get $300 million productions into, get the wheels going on stuff like that. There's not that many of them, so it's a position of power, and you're a Hollywood elite. You might not be famous, but you're a Hollywood elite, essentially, is what I'm in a long-winded kind of way trying to say. Not famous, but powerful. The Hollywoods.
Harvey Weinstein.
Well, yeah, but all the wheels fell off his evil empire.
But nobody knew who he was.
True.
That's
true.
Not many.
No.
They do now.
Oh, yes.
So they got luxury housing, and they didn't have to work, which is nice. Them 12-hour days, 7 days a week are gonna get fucking pretty grinding now, aren't they? After doing that for a couple of years, I'll be like, you know what?
You couldn't get me to do that for a week.
Nah.
I'd fucking rebel and get shot on my way over the fence.
This does remind me of the Simpsons cult episode where there's the Unitarians, the UFO cult. Like he drives past in a Rolls Royce at a certain time of the day. I'm covered in the leader's dust, he favours me. No, I'm dustier than thou. And then Homer gets splattered in mud and look at the new favourite is. That's a really good episode.
It is brilliant, yeah.
So, she then becomes wary and opens a massive wiretapping campaign. Overseen by her most trusted subordinates. So she's got like lieutenants at this point. They go and do my bidding.
She is, I think I said this off mic, didn't I? Comparing her to Hitler during the last days of the Reich, where she's absolutely...
This is where she goes full Hitler
she's
now.
drug-addled, completely and utterly drug-addled, paranoid out of her own fucking mind, but also still holding power. So she can get all this shit done and everyone follows her orders.
And everyone's too scared not to.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just
She'll
potentially
rip
have someone's
their cock off
uterus
and then-
removed. What's she going to do to you?
Have his cock removed while he sleeps.
And
Power
this is it.
corrupts and absolute power
Yeah.
corrupts absolutely.
There you
I
go.
mean, she's so she's like bugging the houses of the Hollywood people, all the payphones, the hotel, and even the Bagwan's house. She's tapping him as well. Well, I'd imagine he's pretty off his fucking tits at this point, and the Hollywood people are coming in.
Well,
'Cause
it's
they're
only
bringing-
fair.
This is where the drugs come in now, isn't it? When the Hollywood people come in, the drugs start to come in. You get the cocaine coming in. It's the 80s. They're in Hollywood. Of course, they're on cocaine. No, let's go and join this fucking spiritual cult. All right, we're bringing the coke.
Of course.
And then the Bagwan's on it as well. You know, it's... And in a way...
They were wrestling power from her, weren't they?
Yeah, but in a way, they were getting closer to him than she was, and she was becoming massively jealous of that. But also, I think that's why she started taking the drugs, so she could work longer and harder and run around for 24 hours and then crash for a bit and then up again. And I think that's... I think that's like... Is that just like trying... Are we still at this point, almost, apart from the uterus removal and sedation of people... Is she still trying to save it just by being more tyrannical? Is it she the best intentions? But no, she's got to rule it with a more iron fist.
She's trying to protect her own interests and her own arse. She is trying desperately to keep a death-like grip on the position that she's got. She doesn't want any change to it. She doesn't want anybody else coming in. She doesn't want a council that she has to delegate to or anything. She wants just her and the Bagwan, as it's always been. No newcomers coming in. Fuck you, he's mine. This is my fucking commune.
He nonced me.
I built this, not him.
Well, yes, she did build it. He rocked
Exactly.
up after everything was finished.
Exactly. This is I took over the local town. I put the peace force in place. You fucking Hollywood's coming here. Fuck off.
And he
I
did
don't
appoint
think
a couple of them to form a new corporation for him, didn't he? Which
Ben-
pissed her off even more.
I don't think she had a spiritual bone in her fucking body. Not a chance. I think
Not even at the start.
possibly started with one, but at this point now, to me, at this point in the story, I don't think it's anything to do with spiritualism at all. It's capitalism, it's power, it's money, and she's loving it. She's
Yeah,
had
I
all
don't
the
know. I
points.
still think she respects that.
I
Bagwan.
think she's she's
A bit. You don't
spiritually
think?
acting.
Oh, him. Oh, yeah, because they haven't fallen out at this
No,
point.
no.
Yeah,
she
she's got
still wants to be
loyalty
close
it.
to him, and he was spending all his time with them.
Yeah. And they've been together since she was a girl,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah, that's
She
what
was
I'm
like a
saying.
father
She
figure.
didn't want
Yeah, he
was
anybody
like
else
a-
to have any control in it, I don't think.
Yeah.
And look at what she went on to do after this with the two dead husbands. I think she's a sociopathic person.
I don't think she was until the hotel bombing thing. I think that's the snapping point for her. That's when she's like, right, now this is a war.
I think she's always had it in her though.
She may have always had it in her. Maybe it's some long game in revenge.
That was the point of no return for me when she said, "We don't turn to the cheek."
Yeah.
I thought, it's all going downhill here.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
what I
come
said.
out of this good.
Yeah.
You ain't
That's
gonna
what
come
I
out of
said.
this
The
good.
first half of this, I actually admire the woman. She's trying to defend her community. You know, that
Yeah.
hotel thing.
But
God,
it's
it's the
when you
snapping
don't
point.
become a sociopath overnight. This woman is detached enough to order people's deaths.
Yeah.
Right? Allegedly may have bumped off 2 husbands.
Yeah.
Right, and is still quite happy to sit on camera in a worldwide
And make out that she's
documentary.
innocent.
Right?
Yeah.
I think she's a sociopath, and I think she wanted that position of being his number 2, basically, or his second in command, and nothing to ever.
I think she loved him.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know whether she loved him and despised him. I think she was torn between the two emotions. I think she loved him and hated him in equal measure.
Well,
She talks about him. She talks
him.
about him like they were man and wife, in my opinion.
Like her father said to her, "You and him are meant to be together." And you're like, well, I'll guarantee you, he was certainly banging her when she was older.
So imagine being intensely in love with him.
Certainly had a sexual relationship, I think.
But imagine being intensely in love with him then, since you were a young girl, right? And it carries on into adulthood. And all this time, he relies on you for all this shit, but he still just goes and fucks as many other birds as he wants to. And you have to be close to it and see it and deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think...
Maybe that drove her insane?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to, sort of give her a... What's the word? Benefit of the doubt. I think
we don't know what her childhood was like.
She became
a bit abused,
cold and emotionally detached. In my opinion, you've got to be that level of detached to order people's deaths.
Yeah.
And to do cold things like, I know I'm jumping ahead, but we'll do it in detail later, of bussing in homeless people, treating them as just objects to get what you want, basically, without a second's thought to what it's like for those actual human beings.
Yeah.
Treating them as animals. Yeah, she's a piece of work. Psychologically complex.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The paranoia was fueled by a lady called Ma Pooja, and she was a registered nurse, but also kind of their chief medical person. She supplied her with both stimulants and sedatives.
Yeah.
So keep her awake, knock her out. Keep her awake, knock her out.
Yeah.
Rajneesh himself was a huge Valium user to help him sleep. That's probably where that 10 years of silence came from. So the minds of the two most important and powerful people in Rajneesh Puram are both chemically addled. Sheila's more so, probably Sheila's more so than Bhagwan, even though Sheila's technically number 2, let's face it, she's running the place.
Well, the speed, the uppers, they give you a kind of manic energy, so imagine that coupled with paranoia. Not able to shut it off or like to distract yourself, do something nice. You'll just be like, no, we gotta do this.
I mean, she's walking also.
She's
walking
building
around
tunnels.
with a fucking revolver on her fucking hip as well.
And the police, when they raided her house in the end, they were like secret escape tunnels and panic rooms and she was a paranoid woman.
Well, I think if you're in that organisation, and you're the top you're the top of that organisation, and you're gonna be paranoid about you, aren't you? Because you know they're coming for you.
It's just,
that's not helping matters, is it? The drugs are not helping matters.
It was like
you can be paranoid without the drugs in that scenario.
It was like a drug lord's home though. Like literally, there was like a tunnel that could get behind a secret door. There was like they could take it directly outside. You know what I mean? She'd like pop up out of the ground, away from the house somewhere. Like fuck you.
Yeah.
Like that's some drug lord stuff, man.
It is, absolutely.
But it's just a peaceful cult.
But this is only taking a darker turn right now. In a corner of Rajneesh Puram, Sheila had set up a hidden lab with the help of Pooja, who's the nurse, and to develop biological weapons. Now we're not probably talking, we could be talking anthrax at a lower level. We're not talking the gases and the stuff in the rock which makes your skin blister and your eyes pop and then you dance the funky chicken till your back breaks. We're not talking that. We're certainly talking low-level stuff, food poisoning, anything to incapacitate you, maybe kill you if it gets too bad. And they settled on a strain of salmonella.
Wow.
And they first tested it on some state inspectors who come on a visit to the city to look at the building, because, they built this stuff. It's still going to be inspected and warranted safe for human use.
They also sabotage.
So they sabotage their cars so they can't go anywhere anytime soon. Bring them some water, apologising so they get the cars fixed. That water's laced with this salmonella thing. It's a bit mixed. One guy's hospitalised for 2 days, and they do say that if he hadn't sought medical attention, he would have died. Fuck. The other guy's bedridden for a couple of days. The other guy didn't seem to affect.
I mean, that's attempted murder.
It is. And even though they suspected they'd done it, because they thought she's losing the plot by the fucking day.
Yeah.
And one of the state inspectors is literally what are them white buildings over there? And this was this lab. And the peace officer who was with him says, they're just janitorial buildings.
Storage.
And just storage, janitorial supplies. And he's like, can I go and look inside? He's like, I haven't got the key, I don't know who's got it. And he's like, oh, alright. And he's like, fuck me if I'd just opened that door. I just insisted that door be opened. But, they're up there genuinely in bulletproof vests under their clothes. Because they don't know how these fuckers are going to react. They're walking around with Uzis.
Remember the guy who went to inspect Jonestown?
Oh, fuck, Senator Leo...
The girl's dad.
Yes, she's a member of this.
Yeah, and he was gunned down on the runway.
US Senator to be killed in the line of duty.
On foreign soil, was it? Or something?
Yeah, something like that. On the job in foreign soil.
Well, AJ Styles is the only person to win the WWE title on foreign soil.
Is he?
Factoids.
The heavyweight, the world title.
Yeah.
British Bulldog won it in London, didn't he?
He won the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Factoids.
Interesting.
I remember him, British Bulldog.
Oh, what a man, Davy Boy Smith.
In my hometown of London.
Yeah, I love that clip.
You're coming to London, my hometown.
Who's a fucking Leeds? He had a really strong Yorkshire.
Yeah, but to the American audience.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Britain's his hometown.
Britain, yeah. So he's small, isn't it?
Yeah, what city are you from? Britain. It's all the same.
So they settled on a strain of salmonella, they tested it on the inspectors, and they thought, oh, you know what? Because actually, people suspected they'd done this, but they couldn't prove it. So she herself led a test. She took a bunch of people with her most trusted acolytes, and they started coating vegetables in grocery stores with the virus. However, if it did work, no cases reported in the media, so it could be considered a failure for
The
them.
fact that she's out there leading this,
I know, she's physically doing it.
Yeah.
That's micromanagement.
I can't trust you fucking idiots to poison a
You
village
bunch
properly.
of fucking hippies, I'll show you to poison a village.
Follow me, shut the fuck up and watch. Just tip it on and fuck off. But yeah, they haven't quite perfected the compound, I don't think, had they? Or for
I think
some reason it
the
didn't work.
delivery system as well. I mean, if it's, I don't know, viruses and things like that, they tend to have a short lifespan in the open air.
Yeah, we'd learnt this from Anne Shinro.
Yeah.
Shinring.
Of course, yeah, and of course people will tend to, they sprinkle it on the fruit. Well, people tend to wash that when they eat it, don't they? Because you take in a fruit bowl,
You know what it says? Wash before you eat.
to stop this.
Well, no, it's because of all the fucking insecticides and chemicals on it.
No, yeah, and that.
And the people who pick it, they go for a piss
Horribly.
Yeah.
out there in the field.
Or
They
shit.
Yeah, they come back.
Don't wash their hands. Yeah, that's why I don't really eat fruit.
And it's all the cunts that have been in there before you, fucking mauling at it in the
That's
secret.
also true. Yeah.
This one? Nah. This one? Nah. This one? Nah.
Right? You don't know what they've been doing. They probably had their hands in their fucking sweaty arse crack, giving it an itch.
Yeah.
Then they've been fondling the melons. It's a
Wash your
fucking-
fruit, I think, is the important lesson to take home from this.
Wash your
fucking
melons.
jungle
Wash
out
your
there.
melons.
Keep your melons clean.
And your snatch.
Fucking hell, Bernard.
But he's not wrong, is he? For your own
Public
health.
health service.
Providing a service.
He's the science officer.
What sounded like a 70s comedian. Wash your snatch, Lord.
Wash your fucking snatch, you dirty split ass bastard. So I said to the mother-in-law.
Exactly. I'll book you the work your Ben's crew doing a gig next week.
I'll buy a ticket.
So will I. It's cheap beer. So Rajneesh himself, the Bhagwan, was growing impatient with the state legislation that was threatening his commune. But in November 1984, the election for Wasco County looms, is the county where they're based. So Sheila comes up with a threefold plan to win.
Wow.
Okay, so because the elections are coming up in Wasco County, the Rajneeshis get a communion, what's the right word? Communal people.
Right.
One of their community people, whose given name was Bonnie Barlow. She would run for commissioner as a sort of a bit of a mole for the Rajneeshis. She's going to run as independent, but secretly she's backed and financed by them.
Right.
They would help her covertly. Sheila also called other candidates and had them denounce Rajneesh Param and record it, and then she'd use it as proof of bigotry.
Man, she's firing on all cylinders.
She's on it. What do you expect? She's off her tits on speed.
It's an amazing drug. so much has been done off the back of speed, like the invasion of Poland.
Oh, that was meth.
I don't know. I think they were
Well,
quite.
it's methamphetamine,
Yeah,
isn't it?
they're all in the same ballpark. It's a speedy upper. You're not going to sleep.
The invasion of Poland, the invasion of France, the invasion of the Low Countries, the invasion of Greece.
You'll find marching much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what everyone forgets about the Wehrmacht at that point, Gaz. It wasn't all mechanised, you know. Just the tanks, everyone else was marching everywhere.
Yeah, and so also as an appetite suppressant. So it's like a double whammy. You're full of beans, you got the energy to keep going, and you don't feel like you need any.
You
food,
stop, do you? Then you stop and eat.
They used to put it in the army rations, didn't they? The US did.
Not meth.
Pilots.
speed.
Did the pilots take a form of it?
I'm sure they used to put it like in World
I'm
War
not
II
sure.
or something.
No, I don't know. No.
Unless
I'll have to look
I've
into
dreamt
it. Drugs in the army. There's a future episode.
Drugs in
subject.
the government, we can touch on MK Ultra.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's its own thing, MK Ultra. That's one of the big boys. Right, let's get back to this cult. You might be able to hear Chester, the show cat, meowing in the background.
Yes, I'm his owner now, you see. I looked at him for a week, he's accepted me as his own. Yeah, the second part was to grow their own voter base, and this is where we get to the homeless people.
Right.
So
This is fantastic.
Rajneesh buses went out all around the country to gather homeless people, and they didn't sort of say, get on the bus. He's like, hey, do you want a house? Do you want food? Do you want homes and beer?
Gave him a free ticket.
Give him a free ticket. If you don't like it, I'll give you a free ticket to get home.
Yeah.
Which they didn't, but we'll get to that. If you join us, that's what you get. And I'm like, well, if you're, you know, let's say it's the early 80s, you could be a Vietnam vet, you know, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
You could be on the streets for whatever reason, they're just gathering these guys up. Basically say, you do all that, all you got to do for us, in return, is vote for the Rajneesh candidate. Simple as, we'll register you to vote, we'll bus you there.
I think it took like 30 days, didn't it, in Oregon to register?
Something like that.
Yeah, wasn't long.
No. And the third part of this cunning plan was to attack voter turnout. So this salmonella virus they've been cultivating, they had that field dry run with it, didn't work very well. Well, she and a group went to 10 different restaurants. So again, she's micromanaging, leading from the front, pouring the salmonella over the salad bars.
Wow.
And the effect this time was immediate, which makes you wonder the first time it was a bad batch.
Well, it was their first
Yeah.
attempt.
Maybe there's in a restaurant there's a short time between you eating that food. You know,
Yeah,
when
and-
they take fruit back,
You wash,
prepare
You
it.
just getting the salad on the
Yeah.
plate straight in, isn't
Yeah.
it? The next day, doctors and hospitals and doctors' offices were swamped with people suffering from the bacteria. You basically just have massive food poisoning, don't you?
Yeah,
And
it
you
was
can
the
die
s-
from dehydration
yeah.
because of it.
It was the second biggest bioterrorist attack in
Yes.
American history.
Yeah, 751 people.
And do you know
were
what beat
affected.
it?
The anthrax thing?
No, it goes way back.
The Indians and the smallpox
Yeah.
blankets?
Fucking Well, start as you mean to go on.
This time the Indians gave the Americans the smallpox
They
blankets.
certainly did.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Well, they're different Indians in all fairness. Indians nonetheless. Yeah, 751 people were affected, with 45 hospitalised. One pregnant woman nearly lost her child during labour. No one died. Miraculously, no one died.
Yeah.
At the same time, they tried to poison the water supply by dumping raw sewage into the water towers. This seems to have little effect.
They were fucking insane. Or
Yeah.
she was insane. And they were insane. But, again, with the Third Reich comparisons, those hippies that were doing her bidding, just following orders, man. She'd have told me to, man.
Oh yeah.
Thought you came out here to wear pink clothes and grow fucking vegetables? What you doing poisoning to?
Yeah.
Sheila told me to, man. You know, just following orders.
I
Well, at
imagine
first, they're just trying to defend themselves and protect their right to existence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it
this is
soon
a
goes
whole
beyond
new
that.
level.
Yeah.
The
This is,
second you're using biological weapons, you're crossing a fucking line, aren't
Things have gone
imagine a
fucking wrong,
judge in
haven't they?
court saying that. You know, I forgive everything, but once you started dabbling in them bio fucking...
Well, remember, biological weapons are outlawed by the Geneva Convention,
Yeah.
technically. I mean, even most of the world is signed up to that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what, don't like them. So there's some random woman in a cult in North America. The second you use biological weapons. However, Bonnie Barlow, the secret Rajneesh candidate, was found to commit voter fraud. She voted in a Rajneesh name and a given name. And that was the kind of the thing with them. They fucked it up. Not just her. A lot of the others did it as well. Some of the homeless people were denied the right to vote because they saw it as a bit of a cynical ploy from the Rajneeshs. Oh yeah, alright, you bought these people. It was only this like the second time it ever happened. But you can imagine the state of Oregon saying, well, you've kind of just bought these people here to vote for you.
But if they're part of the community now,
Yeah.
and they live there for 30 days.
Bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
That's the law.
It is, I suppose so. Thing is, rather than stop people voting, so that the non-Rajneesh community actually spurred them out into greater numbers, because they didn't want these guys taking over their county.
That's it.
And then that's a springboard then. Might take a few years. Everyone kind of suspected they'd done it as well. They didn't know, they couldn't prove it, but
Yeah, it was obvious.
they'd already been, in the eyes of the American public, they'd call the buying up of antelope a bit sort of, a bit dodgy, innit? Don't like it. Yeah, it's legal, but it's a bit underhanded. Sadly, some of the homeless people who moved in didn't really settle well to the life of angry meditation
No. Well,
and working 12-hour days, 7 days a week. They don't have beer, which they were laced with hypnosidol, which is a powerful antipsychotic. But they didn't settle well because a lot of them got immune to it. Fucking hell.
it's just
And,
to keep them knocked out.
The homeless population at this point nearly outnumbered the Rajneesh population.
Could have been a war.
Well, yeah, fights and disturbances are breaking out. You've got some guy who's clearly off his tree,
I mean, I'm not condoning what they
dragging
did.
people out of cars.
I'm not condoning what they did about drugging them and stuff, but in a way, they gave more to them homeless people than their own country ever did.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
and some of them did take to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Then
like
they fucked it up.
in
though.
Wild Wild
Yeah.
countries, some of them, you saw some of these guys getting up on the stage and giving these heartfelt, saying, out there, everyone just looked down on me. I come to Rajneesh Puram.
Treated as an equal.
I'm treated as an equal. I'm given a home. I'm given a chance to work and get food, and this is the real America. And one guy says this is the real America, not out there. And some of them
It's got
did.
a point, I think.
Some of them did
To an
take
extent.
to it. But what they did really was they shipped out the troublemakers. The guys that couldn't integrate anymore. They had mental health issues. They had drug problems. They had alcohol problems.
Yeah, well, that's not good, is it?
No, but they shipped him out. And they literally, the one guy who attacked Sheila had him by the throat, and the doctor turned up and jabbed him in the
And tried to kill him.
with some kind of sedative
Yeah, and a syringe.
with a syringe.
Yeah.
They basically just put him on a bus, drove him to another town, stuck him on a park bench, and left him there. That's what happened to a lot of the guys that they didn't want. They got him on the bus, and they just dropped him off in towns around Oregon. Because you know what? They said they promised him a ticket. Now the amount that left would have nearly bankrupted the fucking
Yeah.
community
They hadn't
to
thought
buy
it.
them all a ticket to go home with. The amount that wanted to leave.
I hadn't thought it through, really.
No. A lot of the votes in the commune were turned down because of voter fraud, registering twice, or registering the dead to vote. It was a massive failure. So she's let the bag one down big time, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Big time. In 1985, it's looking like the commune will be disbanded and the Rajneesh will be, the bag one Rajneesh will be kicked out of the country.
Right.
Sheila tries one last plan.
Not one to give up easily, is she?
She's going to burn down the offices of the Wasco County Planner.
Fucking hell.
Didn't work. Within 2 weeks, the offices were back up and running. They drugged the water. Didn't work. And what I suspect is it's the levels the levels of what they're trying to put in isn't enough.
Yeah.
And that woman was, yeah, alright, she's medically qualified, but she's only a nurse, she's not a doctor.
No.
Yeah.
I think she's getting her levels wrong.
Well, she's
Homeopathic
getting something wrong
poison.
because it didn't work.
Homeopathic
did it?
poison? Yeah. You're putting all that stuff in and you're like, oh yeah, but the amount of water in there compared to these 4 drops I just put in. And the finances were slipping at this point big time. I mean, remember they sent their own fleet of air. These things are like, this is the 80s, they're these big sort of chrome plated buses that are air conditioned, and they've got Rajneesh transport on the side. Yeah, it must have cost a fucking.
Yeah.
These aren't like the shitty coaches you have, the shitty buses you have going around town. These are luxury coaches.
They've spent a lot of money.
Spent a hell of a lot of money. The planes they've got their own fucking fleet. So the money's running out. Sheila, for some reason, is given a. I think it's because one of the guys on the board of this company in Australia must have joined and given her his shares. But sadly, allegations arose of her drugging shareholders to acquire the stake.
Fucking hell.
She will stop at nothing.
No.
She has got no standards.
No. A former Rajneesh was about to win a 1.7 million lawsuit against them, saying that basically what he'd been promised wasn't what he got. And Sheila sent plainclothes assassins to her hotel to take her out. So they failed. You're sending hippies to kill people.
Never send a hippie to do an assassin's job.
That should be a show motto. Never send a hippie to do an assassin's job.
Just never send a hippie
Yeah.
to do a job. Never trust a hippie.
They also tried to kill the man who was investigating the marriage for visas.
Right.
That also failed.
Fucking hell.
They also tried to kill Rajneesh's doctor and his caregiver, kind of new, well, let's say number 3, but she's pushing for Sheila's job. They failed to kill her quite badly. And they also, but the doctor, they managed to inject him with something. They inject him with adrenaline in a festival. And he basically, because he's a doctor, feels it go in, realises the effects of the drug because he's a doctor and knows exactly what. He's only been dishing this shit out himself, so he really knows exactly what's going on. Goes back, seeks medical attention, doesn't bother him, he's fine. Simple as. But weirdly, the reason she justified this one, the two people looking after the bag one, your spiritual leader, advisor, and father figure, and possible noncer and lover, is they promised to help in his proposed assisted suicide. He wanted to die, apparently.
Well, hadn't he had some premonition of a giant earthquake?
A giant earthquake striking the San Francisco area.
Yeah,
But hadn't he been
I also
reading a lot of Nostradamus?
Yeah, and I also think he was saying that to rich people in California to convince them to sell everything they own, their very valuable property,
Of course.
and then give him the money and go and live on his commune.
Yeah. But on the plus side, it's quite cushy for them.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they're living in luxury homes. They're not working 12 hours.
Oh, the
a day.
Hollywood.
The Hollywood
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are fine. And eerily predictive plan, I'm going to say, in a way, was they're going to load one of their planes with explosives and fly it into the Wasco County Planning Office.
Well, that'd work.
Well, yes, it would work. Unless the hippie flying the plane
Oh, fucking stoner.
crashed it into the ground instead.
He wakes up fucking 2 hours later on the other side of the states like, whoa man, fuel is low, I fell asleep. Sheila, I'm sorry dude, but
So
mission is a fail.
The whole death count from all these attempts is a very healthy 0, which we like to hear.
Because they were incompetent terrorists,
Yes.
were they not? Or freedom fighters, whatever they're
Did we mention they tried to assassinate the Attorney General?
Yes, but that also failed. Yeah.
It is a lot like Om Shinrikyo, isn't it?
It is, but Om Shinrikyo were a lot more competent. Remember, they had the soldiers of White Love.
But remember all their fucking useless, pathetic attempts before they actually got it to work with the radio-controlled helicopters and, you know, they had a whole string of calamities.
Yeah, but that was the nerdy side. I remember when the Yakuza attacked them, and his private mercenary army, the soldiers of White Love, beat off the Yakuza because they're all special forces trained.
Yeah, but they still
Some of them were pretty competent.
They still fucked up a load of bombs though before they got it to work.
But if they'd give the job of bombing the trains to those dudes instead of the geeky anime nerds,
well,
they'd have probably done it.
Well, Sheila didn't have that option, did she?
She did not.
And it failed.
They did not have mercenaries.
Every time.
Their finances are extremely depleted and more people are leaving. It's becoming a bit of a ghost town. The Hollywood folk are the first out. It's getting a bit shit here, isn't it? Let's go back to the hills because they've still got some money. Remember?
Yeah, they wouldn't give their money.
They'll give a So they'll buy you a present,
Yeah.
and they'll
The poor people have to give everything.
yeah.
Let's
At
go
this
produce
point-
a movie and hang out with
Yeah.
A-listers.
Now at this point, Rajneesh himself, he's got 93 Rolls Royces. He's got $1 million jewelled bracelets and watches.
11.93.
He's got 93 at this point. This is towards the end. This is the. They'll gift him a Rolls Royce. Have a Rolls Royce.
Ridiculous.
He loved Rolls Royces.
Did he?
He did. He loved
One would never have guessed.
them. He didn't hate them.
Funny if he did.
No, he-
You told them I like his fucking Rolls Royces.
They just keep giving them me.
90 fucking 3 of them in the back.
It's like socks at Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's do some live research. So this was 1983, was it not?
Yeah.
How much did a Rolls Royce
Oh, no, sorry,
cost in 1980?
1985. Sorry.
I'll start the voice search again.
Sorry. Sorry.
How much did a Rolls Royce cost in 1985?
So leaving 1985 Rolls Royces for sale first.
No, I've got the list of what they actually cost
Ah.
in 1985. So the closest 1985 was a 1983 model, which is the convertible model, was worth about 73,000.
I think all these were hard tops.
You're looking in the region of 70,000 pounds.
This is a hell of a lot of money back then.
So 93 of them, yeah, it's not an insignificant
Sum of money.
fortune to be
Nope.
sitting upon.
It's effectively nearly £1 million in Rolls Royces
Yeah.
he sat on.
Sell some of them, give the money away.
No.
Fucking charlatan. You don't need 93.
Now at this point, in mid-September 1985, Sheila books a flight to Europe with a small band of close advisors. So she takes her closest people and probably most of his money that's left, I'd imagine, because I reckon she's got access to it.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Sorry, I
Um,
just thought, can you imagine trying to leave the house or the commune? You got 93 keys hanging up.
Oh,
They've all got Rolls Royce. They all look identical.
I think they're all different.
And you've got, well, no, they'd all look similar. They'd all just like.
There's 99 Rolls Royces
It'd be like
keys
this-
hanging on
yeah,
the
there's
wall.
93 Rolls Royce keys, 93 Rolls Royces. There ain't 93 different colours.
Well, I think his plates were done with the. I'm sure I saw on the fucking on that documentary that it was his plates were personalised. And it was like R and a number. So I think he had them numbered.
I still think it's gonna take. You're gonna have to add an extra 10 minutes into your
You just put it
plan.
at random.
Yeah, but then you go out there and like unless
They're all
you've got it
parked in
written out.
bays. They're all parked in numbered bays.
Imagine having to go and find out which of the 93 keys
No,
opens
I
bet there's
which.
one or
Because
two
you
that
park them in numbered bays.
We don't know this for a fact
All
though,
the
do
car number plates have got the number on. You've got the keys numbered. You say, number 6. Walk along to bay 6.
I
There
bet
you
they
go.
had one or two that
think
were left out
we? At 93,
for
there's
regular use,
it's
and
gotta
the
be
others
some
weren't.
confusion.
That would
Yeah.
make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe. But I think this guy would have liked to have driven them all. He'd really liked a Rolls Royce, apparently.
Well, he didn't drive it, did he? He got
He did
driven.
drive it sometimes. I
Did
saw
he?
him in the documentary. He was driving occasionally.
He also liked Sheila to put a little pinky finger up his arse. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Probably. So she flees, and he then breaks his vow of silence, comes out publicly and denounces her, and says she's a fascist and stole most of his money. I suspect that both are true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He also claimed that he'd only learned of her actions after she'd left.
Yeah, right.
that's
So it's like,
fact.
well, where the
that's been
fuck have you
proven
been,
to
mate?
be,
Where the
not
fuck
true.
have you been? October 23rd, 1985, a grand jury indicts Rajneesh and Sheila with evidence of evading immigration laws. The case had been building for a while, and most of the Rajneesh legal team were willing to testify for lighter sentences, so they're all turning now.
Yep.
And remember,
Perhaps
they've got some
deserting
very
his
qualified
signature.
lawyers. But your number 2's just left, and all you've got is a fucking a middle-aged Indian man who does not understand the complexities of running anything. He's always left that to someone else.
Yeah, I think she took his money
So do I.
when she couldn't get his complete devotion because he liked to have his little side pieces. That's when she decided, nah, I'm having it. I'm gonna take him for all I can.
I made him.
I made him. I'll break him.
Yeah. So what Rajneesh does, the Bhagwan, is he flees in a private jet, and he takes 6 close friends with him, a couple of $1 million worth of jewellery, and a gun. He's going to make several stops. He's going to Bermuda. I assume he'll be tax-free. Maybe they don't have an extradition policy.
Yeah.
But he gets arrested in North Carolina because his plane has to stop to refuel, and they're aware he's left. And they stop him. He's arrested. And to break him, to get him to admit to this, they do a very clever thing where they just basically drag him around the country until they get back to Oregon, making him sleep in prisons. And this is a guy who's accustomed to the finest things in life. He's not driving his Rolls Royce. He's off the drugs as well, remember. Shackled. He's only got his hat on so you can see his bald head, which he always had that hat.
He was always covered.
And they just drag him around and it breaks him, and he just, yeah, alright, it's immigration fraud.
I think he was quoted as saying, "I never want to step foot in this country again."
That's right.
Whereas previously he was saying that, "Oh, I'll never leave. America's the land, the greatest land." But hey, you should have paid more attention to your forms, to your, again, the downfall of a powerful organisation was the fucking
Drugs,
administration errors.
I think that 10 years, he was off his face. I'm a very silence for 10 years. I think he was fucking taking what he fucking could. He was taking stuff and banging chicks.
I think the vow of silence was a cop-out from not having to deal with his followers, not having to talk to them. I think he was talking plenty behind closed doors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and can you maintain a vow of silence at the point of ejaculation whilst being sucked off by a nubile young hippie lady?
He was like giving her all because he's the fucking guru and she doesn't want to disappoint him, so she's really going for it.
Yeah, I think the vow of silence was bullshit, just like pretty much. I think he's a charlatan, a businessman, but I'll save that for the end.
Sheila is arrested in Germany, West Germany, and extradited because she gives a magazine piece, sort of spill all thing, and weirdly poses nude for them. Don't know why.
Really?
Yeah,
I missed that part.
Yeah, she posed nude in the pictures. Yeah.
Have you seen these pictures, Ben?
I saw them on the Wild Wild Country.
Oh, I missed that bit. I'm definitely going to Google them later. Just out of curiosity.
No. She has 20 years and he's let out after 2 for good behaviour. And then she goes on to move to Switzerland and buys a couple of nursing homes and is running them to this day.
Murders a couple of husbands.
Maybe murders one husband after that, because she murdered the first one.
Right.
Allegedly, she told her other husband who survived, because he was the mayor, wasn't he? He stuck with the bad one to the very end.
Did he?
Yeah, he was calling him Osho the entire way through in Wild Wild Country, which is what he then renames himself, because he's extradited back to India, or deported back to India. Dies in 1990, or renames himself Osho, which is Japanese for teacher, or something like that, mentor, teacher, kind of thing. His meditation centres are pretty popular, actually.
Yeah.
They are growing again. People are wearing the red and going in there.
I think he had some good points.
Yeah. It also had some bad points. If my girlfriend told me, like, "Oh, I've joined this new meditation centre," oh, that sounds like it's good for you, then she comes back a little bit upset. I'm like, "What happened during your meditation?" This man physically grabbed me and, like, gorilla fucked me, like, dry humped me and slapped me around the back of the head. Pulled my hair, screamed in my face, threw me to the ground, kicked me. Then we started playing some happy music and we all sat around in silence. Then we all started dancing and hugging each other.
And had sex.
I said there were some good bits and bad bits.
Yeah. When it comes to meditation, I think just sitting there quietly going is, cheers man, I think that's more useful than, like, you know, like I said, the dry hump gorilla fuck move which I saw in that documentary. Holy shit. If we, right, as wrestling fans, you want it to be like, if it's a bit too rough and a bit too real, you're like, ooh, that's a bit stiff.
That's why I don't like that TNA intergender wrestling thing that they've got on there.
That shit. I don't like intergender wrestling at all.
Well, they used to do it like, you know, like the males would fight the males, the females would fight the females. Now they got the females fighting men.
Yeah, no, I've seen it indie shows, actual, like, just a bloke versus a girl match, and I don't like it because it just ruins the entire illusion. We want to believe, we want to suspend our disbelief. That's the point of it. But anyway, that's a massive tangent. My point was if I saw the roughness that I saw in those videos from the meditation sessions in a wrestling match, I would think, I think those two guys are genuinely pissed off at each other. That's a bit too rough. It's genuine violence, man. Like, it's not necessarily punching somebody in the face, but they're throwing each other around, screaming at each other, and
Yeah, good and bad, like you said, Mike. Good and bad, but
Maybe that was
Just
only
a
a
bit of-
certain type of the meditation. Maybe the other ones are more peaceful and you guys would fuck at the end.
stick to a bit of Tai Chi in the park with the old age pensioners.
It's a great flyer, isn't it?
Have some meditation, have a fuck at the end of it.
A great fuck at the end of it.
It's not a cult.
Depends who's in there though. If it's a bunch of airy arm-pitted fucking petulia selling fucking hippies.
Well, we'd have to
women,
vet them before they came in, wouldn't we?
you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh god, I finally get to go to an orgy, but everyone fucking stinks.
Oh,
We'll have a clean snatch policy.
Oh, It's Always Sunny in
Go on,
Philadelphia. We watched that one the other night, the orgy.
Yeah.
Where Frank and Dennis got this orgy. And they got these weird sort of bird masks on.
Yeah.
And like go in there and there's just all these middle-aged people in their pants. And Dennis is like, you promised me a private sex party. This is middle-aged people eating a buffet.
Oh man. So, yeah, I mean, where are we now? Are we at the wrapping up stage?
Yeah.
So, what are our final thoughts, gentlemen, on this bananas story?
Well, the city part, when they build that, is absolutely amazing. I think that's fantastic.
Very impressive.
You know,
Yeah,
they build
I
a
love that,
city
yeah.
from nothing. They turn the desert green. It's all sustainable. Yeah, they're putting in a lot of hard work, but they are reaping the benefits, or somewhat certain. They must be happy with that life. This is the golden period of it. It all goes downhill for me, and I think Sheila's mental health takes a massive dive down when that hotel is bombed, and that's the turning point in it all. Then she's thinking this is a war, and I've got to win it by any means necessary.
And you're taking on the US government,
You're taking on the US government.
so good luck.
Yeah, they'll only ever
In
be
their
one
own
winner.
country.
Yeah, and they're also
How did she even...
and remember, I've said
Did
it a
she
couple of
win it?
times. They're on it bringing the National Guard to surround Rajneesh Movement and potentially assault it. I mean, yeah, all right, it's not the US Army, but it's more than you've got. You've got 150 people trained to use your firearms. They've got several thousand.
I think it might not have escalated as quickly without the bomb, but I think they would have still been frustrated by the
Good luck.
bureaucracy. I can't say it.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think they'd have still been frustrated by the process of trying to get done what they wanted to get done, and it might not have escalated to the levels it did. But I think she was always destined to get a bit power hungry
Hitlery.
and turn it into a war with the local sort of the state.
But it started off as, I think, genuinely, I'm protecting this community that we have built, that I've fucking built, that I've organised, that I've fucking... 2 years it took to build that place. 2 years of solid graft. He rocks up on the day it's finished, sits in his fucking chair on the hill, outside his massive house that he specifically requested, right? And sits under his little umbrella, on his chair, he looks out, he does the old fucking praying thing, he gives everyone a smile. Well done, mate. That's fucking... Where's my garage? I've got 60 Rolls Royces to bring in. And you just fucking busted your arse for 2 years. Oh man, don't get me wrong,
I think at the beginning it started well in India, in the ashram. The beliefs were okay, nothing too dodgy. But then he just got power hungry, didn't he?
You know what they
He
say,
loves
Mike?
capitalism.
The road to hell is
Yeah.
paved with good intentions.
And this does sound like something, basically, let's just sum it up in like a phrase, exactly like that. This started off like a fucking veritable paradise. I'd have joined her at that point. And then it just all went to shit very quickly.
I wouldn't. Fucking hippies.
Oh, I don't know, the free love.
I'd like to see what would happen if they hadn't had any resistance.
I think that
And
was
just
the thing.
allowed to be.
If they just let him get on with it,
Yeah.
they just expanded it.
It's fine, you had this town in the desert.
Yeah, but the thing is, they had that ranch, it only had so much square metres, then they'd have had to apply to buy more, which they'd have probably done because they're just doing it legally. Oh, we want to buy this extra 30,000 acres to expand. Yeah, okay. Give us the money, this is the money, this is the price, give us the money.
But
Done.
maybe they wouldn't have wanted to expand that much.
Well,
I think it was
Did you see
because they
the-
were being attacked. They went on the offensive, didn't they? Said,
Yeah.
look, fine, we'll take over the state.
did you see that bit where they've been accused of doing the Salmare thing and they pulled the nurse lady out, Puma, and she's like, yeah, we're going to infect Oregon, and we're going to infect the county. Yeah, we'll infect the state. will infect the United States, will infect the world with love and happiness. Everyone's like, oh my God, you've just been accused of biochemically attacking people, and you're using the words, yes, will infect this county.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember that.
Yeah, not great.
but no, I think we can sum it up and just say they started off with really good intentions. They got attacked. They had the wrong person in charge, who quickly became drug dependent and made some very bad decisions and made life a bit shit for everybody.
Well, I've got another good quote for you that I think applies to this. That comes from, as I said to the boys off mic, today, just before I did the pod, I watched for the first time Jurassic Park 3 from 2001, and I believe Dr. Grant says, because the young guy steals the eggs, the raptor eggs, and he's justifying it to Alan Grant, like, you know, I did it with the best of intentions. It was, you know, we could sell these and fund our research for years. And Dr. Grant says, some of the most evil things imaginable were done with the best of intentions. So
I think that's probably sums it up.
Yeah.
if you think you're in the right, as far as you're concerned, you're in the right, aren't you? And you'll order the uterus of a woman who wanted to leave to be removed in her sleep.
I will say though, I don't know how I'd never heard of this until I'd watched the documentary.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's
Absolutely.
mad.
It's almost like they covered it up.
It's not one of the famous.
Not the Mandela effect, is it?
No. I think it's. Do you know what I think it comes down to? Nobody died.
Yeah. You're right.
If it bleeds, it leads. Do you know what I mean? Nobody.
Yeah.
Come in
right.
just a few years.
It's Jonestown, everyone knows about.
Less than 10 years after Jonestown, which was.
We're talking 78 Jonestown, maybe. That's
So it's 5 years after.
Yeah.
It's in recent living. Yeah, I just think nobody died, so it's not as sexy. But when you get into the details of it, plus maybe it's not the sort of thing. You don't want to talk about how some private citizens can take over the police. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think it's not that sexy a story from the outside. But when you get into the finer details, it's fucking bananas. Bananas, man. So,
I mean, they could have taken over the county. I think with better planning and not trying to cheat as much, like registering the dead people and registering registering yourselves twice, you could have won it.
well,
Could have won it. They could have won it legit.
I think the lesson we can all learn from this is if you try and live outside the box, the government will smash you. So you might as well just. There's only one way you leave this colony, and that's in a body bag. You don't get to just start a new way of life. Are you mental? The government won't have that.
Yeah.
So just be a good ant and do as you're told. So, should we do something funny?
Alright, so let's end on some weird news and a bit of fun, Alex.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So what's first in the weird news, Mike? Woman constantly told she looks younger than she is and says it's thanks to fairies. Wow. A woman who says she's constantly told she looks much younger than she actually is says mythical magic is the key to her youthful looks.
Oh, yeah.
Flavia Peters has believed in fairies and leprechauns since she was a little girl, and now she says she can communicate with angels. Well, this woman's clearly insane.
Why is this in the fucking news?
Good point.
Where's this from? The Mirror?
Yeah.
Wow. She was bullied about her beliefs at school. So the character building. So decided to ignore her sightings, but now she's fully embracing it again and is determined to try and use her skills to help other people. She holds regular workshops during which she teaches people how to connect to the fairy realm, as well as casting spells to help them with anything they're lacking in life, from luck to love. She says, I'm 50 now, though much older than a fairy is. But people always tell me I look younger, and I'm sure it's because I work with fairy energy. Like me, fairies are old souls but appear much younger. I call it their fairy glamour.
Well, for any female listeners, I think we've discovered here the secret to looking younger
Hang on.
is to have no fucking grip on reality whatsoever. fucking ever.
Like, take this out, read a view, there's got to be a picture of her.
Go on. Carry on, Gaz.
But that's it. Obviously she looks young because she's a fucking lunatic.
Is there a picture?
She's completely carefree. There's got to be a picture of it.
She's actually quite hot.
She doesn't look 50.
But
she's so
your
buff.
cynical ways. Now you're
Actually, yeah, she does.
Now you're believing in the fairies.
No, she does look 50.
And based on the background, it looks like she's a trader at festivals.
Yeah.
I've got something in common with her. I used to do that, so yeah, we could vibe, me and her. As long as she doesn't start talking about fucking fairies.
She's going to.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all she's going to.
I'll do it. Every time you mention fairies, I'm going to hit the crack pipe.
She would join you. Well, good luck to her.
Yeah, I'm literally speechless. I don't know. She got a fucking 250 quid in her story in the paper, didn't she? Good luck to you.
It's boosted your festival shop a little bit.
Yeah. What's it called? Fairyland.
Probably.
Ugh.
Next up, we've got a headline from the Sunday Sport I found.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Back to the Sunday Sport, going over. What? Wow.
Monkey bummed by ghost of Jacko is hooked on internet bingo.
Oh, the sub-headline. He's ran up huge gambling debts because of that bastard's bumming ghost. Hang on, the Sunday Sport costs £1.
I think it does, yeah.
Used to be like 30p.
I like the Facebook comment somebody has put. I always said you can't trust fucking northern monkeys.
How many more victims?
How does he know his monkey was bummed by Jacko's ghost? And how does he know that's directly related to the monkey's gambling habit?
Can we zoom in? I want to read the article now.
Don't know if we can we? We're not that technically gifted.
Oh.
Just Google it, guys. For you at home. Do you want me to get code?
Why is he hooked on internet bingo though? Why is a ghost bumming?
Okay.
Hooked on internet bingo? That's the mystery of it.
Yeah, it is a lot of mystery.
I now, for the listener, have my face like inches away from the screen. When he was alive, pop paedophile Michael Jackson preyed on young boys. In death, his ghost took to bumming innocent little monkeys. And today we can report the very real cost to his simian victims' mental health. For monkey fan Steve Gibson's primate pal, Lucius, has been reduced to a gibbering wreck. Hopelessly addicted to online bingo. Steve bought Lucius from a traveller 4 years ago. Spent months ridding the macaque of his viler habits. But after being bummed up his little monkey arse by the unquiet spirit of Jackson,
That's got to be a real article.
Lucius was a changed creature. Steve of Leek, Staffordshire, shuddered. I read in the Sunday Sport that there were cases of monkeys in captivity being bummed by Michael Jackson's ghost, but I never thought it would happen to my poor Lucius. One night it did, and it's changed him forever. First he was just quiet, and he went off his bananas. Then I secretly found out he was playing then I found out he was secretly playing online bingo for cash. Obviously, being a monkey, he had no money of his own, so he ran up huge debts in my name. I've bailed him out 3 times now to the tune of more than 80 quid a pop. That's a huge amount for a ruddy monkey. Naturally, I'm angry, but I don't blame Lucius. He's only become addicted to online bingo because the ghost of Michael Jackson bummed him. Dead or not, I hate that bastard Jackson, and all those mad fans who defend him are metaphorically bumming my little Lucius all over again, the sick fuckers.
Did you say fuckers?
It says fuckers, but it starred out.
Alright.
In 2013, Sunday Sport was the first British newspaper to report news that the ghost of Thriller nonce, Jackson, was bumming monkeys.
I'm going to guarantee that they were the only paper who reported that as well.
We told how the hit parade pervert spirit had bummed a monkey belonging to Brian Clowes of Crewe, Cheshire. Well, fuck me.
I'm gonna say the lady doth protest too much. I think he bummed the monkey and wrote the gambling debt.
I miss that newspaper.
You know what? From now on, I'm going down the shop on a Sunday. I'm gonna buy the Sunday Sport.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy it.
Bring the section back.
And we'll bring it back. I'm gonna.
We should support the Sunday Sport.
Do you know what I saw? I was in the shop the other day. I saw a bloke buying a porn mag.
Poor bastard.
Genuinely, this old boy, he took some off the top shelf. He was ahead of me in the queue, right? And he held it like barcode facing the lady. Not like, no, I bought that. And I was like, did he just buy a porn mag? And she's like, yeah, he comes in every week, buys one. Well, like £7 now. She's so expensive.
Fucking hell, Wi-Fi connection's cheaper than that, you silly old
That's
prick.
what I said. I said, well, doesn't he get the internet? Genuinely not think anyone bought this. Someone got a collectible now.
Ben held out his hairy palms and said, doesn't he get the internet, the poor bastard?
Don't need to, mate.
I shave mine. I don't need to either, but don't try telling me you don't still watch the porn.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, see? Look, you're trying to kid. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Monkeys getting bummed by the coast to Michael Jackson. It's quite a homophobic article, really, isn't it? The language used is
Just because it
what's the
says
Sunday fucking sport?
just 'cause it says bums, that's not homophobic. That's the opposite of homophobic.
I think it's quite anti-LGBT.
Bumming is definitely not anti-LGBT. That's what they want.
I'm being millennial now. I'm on their side.
Fuck off. Although now I've found out it's LGBTQIA.
Hey,
I don't know what they stand for, but there is 2 extra letters at the end, I and A.
okay.
There you go.
I've only just got the hang of the fucking first one.
It's just going to be getting longer and longer and longer. It's ridiculous. But anyway, if you've got a monkey,
Be careful.
yeah,
Put a chesty belt on him.
don't let
Get a
Michael
little
Jackson's
monkey
ghost.
chesty belt. That's my advice.
Don't let Michael Jackson's ghost bum him. Or don't let him have internet access. To be honest, I think this story might be true because there are 3 pictures with the article. One is the man, and it's captioned "Happier Times," Steve with Lucius, the man and his monkey. The second picture is Michael Jackson with Bubbles, has his arms around him, proof that he fucks monkeys.
Apparently so.
Then the third picture is the monkey in front of a laptop, proof that the monkey went on a laptop. So I
A
actually
monkey
think,
looking sad in front of a laptop.
exactly, because he just lost 80 quid!
Oh, bingo!
Yeah.
Fantastic. Seesaws installed at US border walls so American and Mexican children can play together.
Aww.
They better not go too high though. It's like, you're on my side now. Just shoot his face.
Yeah, imagine if you're some scoring little 3-year-old little Mexican toddler, and this like really fat American 7 or 8-year-old gets on, he just jumps up, he comes straight back over the wall.
It's flung over, lands in a heap, and then a border guard executes him.
Oh man!
Carry on playing with your seesaw, kids.
Well, what went from a really heartwarming tale turned into tragedy?
Well, it is America. So what does it say, Mike?
Seesaws have been installed at the border wall between US and Mexico to allow American and Mexican children to play together.
Aww.
The bright pink installations were set up along the border fence between Sunland Park in New Mexico and Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. The seesaws created a literal fulcrum for US-Mexico relations, according to inventors Ronald Reel from the University of California in Berkeley.
That's nice.
That's it really, but
Well,
Unless, of course, that scenario happens we talked about a second ago. That happens and it's also...
I just thought it was a nice story to end on.
it's a nice, for once, a nice happy, an olive branch, a seesaw-shaped olive branch. You can play on it, but you still better not
It's
come over
always the
this
kids
side, you
that
little
suffer.
fucking cunts. Is essentially what they're saying though, isn't it? Enjoy your seesaw, but don't fucking cut. Don't, no, you sit on that end. No, play nicely. But yeah, it's a happy story. So, does that conclude the weird news for this week?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For Alex then.
Let's do it.
So, Full Alex, the favourite game show in this flat. Basically, Mike finds us a couple of clips and some random weirdos and then pits him against the arch saint of insanity himself, Alex Jones. Because remember, started to go a little bit Alex, quarter Alex, half Alex, 3/4 Alex on a train, but never go full Alex.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Who's up first, Mike?
Up first, Mark Taylor and Chris Donald
Ooh.
both assert that Tom Hanks is a paedophile.
Oh, this is the
God.
firefighter prophet,
Yep.
Mark Taylor.
Leave Tom alone. Remember the Leave Britney Alone guy?
Do you remember when we did QAnon? And like one of the things was that Tom Hanks was a paedophile, and he said if you type in Tom Hanks into YouTube, the first like 5 or 10 hits will be Tom Hanks the paedophile, and I did it and it didn't come up with that.
No, it'll be like top 10 Tom Hanks performances.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilson, I think, was maybe the top one.
Well, let's hear what the cunt's
Listen to this
got to
fucking
say
the
then.
prophet himself has to say. Oh God.
One thing that happened was with the Disney Cruise Lines, and we all know that Disney is one of the most sick organizations in this country. They target children. They have become really a haven. Their hierarchy, the executives for transgenderism, homosexuality, lesbianism. I mean, they and pedophilia, and they have sunk to a level that people that put any money in Disney World should be ashamed of themselves. Because look, folks, this is not a family organization. No. And Walt Disney was not family man. There's things coming out about Walt Disney right now that would make your hair curl if you do your research.
He was a 33rd degree Mason.
33rd degree Mason.
And no coincidence that Disneyland is built on a 33rd degree latitude or something like that out there. Research it, search it out.
And it's also not by mistake that when the movie came out, Saving Mr. Banks came out, which was basically had to do with Walt Disney, that none other than Tom Hanks was the one that played Walt Disney. And Tom Hanks has his own little issue right now with questions of pedophilia and trafficking surrounding him. Now, Disney had a cruise line ship here recently that you found out that went, of all places, near Epstein Island. And talk to us a little bit about that. I found that very intriguing.
Well, the Q dropped that. Q confirmed that. Q confirmed that. Now, you can't take a cruise ship to Little St. James because it's too small, but that St. Thomas over there, I think, has got ports, and they were moving, boats, whatever it was, over to that island. But here's the thing with Disney Cruise Line. Look, I want to put this caution out for people. Disney World, Walt Disney built over here in Central Florida in Orlando. All right. Now, I've been to Disney even as a kid. I went to Disney. Everybody thinks it's always so innocent, this, that, and the other. Well, now that we're finding out, guys, for years, Disney's not innocent. There's a reason why you don't want your kids watching any Disney programming, because that's why it's called programming, okay? Programs, because they're programming your kids. It may look so innocent. Trust me, it's not. There's frequencies in there. There's pedophilia stuff in there. There's, there's just nasty. Look, don't go to Disney, guys. Don't take your kids to Disney. If you're a godly man or woman, nobody should be walking on that property with their family and trying to enjoy the summer for the day, okay? It's just because, there's just too much going on over there. They get kids disappear all the time, Chris. The Disney Cruise Line, I even tweeted out, I said, now that Q has confirmed Disney Cruise Lines at Epstein Island, I would encourage the Anons to dig on Castaway Key. Tom Hanks filmed Splash there. It is also an old airstrip that drug runners used to use. No coincidences. Now, Disney has their own island. It's a 1,000-acre island, but they only leased like 55 acres of it. I believe the airstrip, they don't own the airstrip, but the airstrip is there, guys. This is not a coincidence. There's other, he filmed, what was the movie Tom Hanks filmed? There was another island, Castaway? No, not Castaway.
Castaway, yeah.
Was it Castaway? That was the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Well, that was on what, Fiji Islands or something like that? I think that one was filmed. So,
Yeah.
Again, anywhere Tom Hanks has been is already suspect at this point, because we know this guy's history.
He sounded remarkably uninformed for a man trying to put his theory across. There was a lot of, what was that again? What was that called? Did you do your fucking own research, you daft prick?
No, he doesn't have to, because then he does like what we do, and he starts saying, you do your research, you do the research.
But that's what we do. We're not making fucking money out of this, like this cunt.
I'm with him. I was with him up to, the head of Disney. He was a 33rd degree Mason, wasn't he?
Well, he's a bit dodgy, you know what he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a fucking fascist.
Yeah.
And certainly harboured Nazi views.
And I have seen them hidden sort of like cocks and things in Disney films.
Yeah, how much you like is put in and how much
Well, it's gotta be, hasn't it?
You watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's a rogue animator.
Yeah, I know.
It's not Walt Disney
But
himself.
yeah, but
Yeah, but you're watching that on like YouTube. Some guy could have just fucking spliced that in for you, you know. Unless you go back to the original copy and watch the film.
well,
okay,
quite possibly.
I'm
But-
just googling, trying to find what he said about Disneyland being on the 33rd latitude or something. But all that's coming up is a book called The 33rd Latitude, Key to the Kingdom.
Could be about Disneyland.
There's something about latitude 33 and Disney overall.
Well, this could be an episode in future.
But just because Tom Hanks played Walt Disney in an animated film makes him a paedophile.
Oh, and he went to Fiji, remember? They filmed Castaway that you didn't know the fucking title of. You're trying to convince me that this fucking prophet is real. You can't even name the bastard film. And he's like, oh yeah, what was it called? Castaway, yeah.
They sounded like a pair of morons, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right,
Pretty much.
who's next?
Next up, Tiffany Fitzhenry says country songs contain spells and musical scales that change your DNA.
Country
Wow.
songs?
I love
I'd
country
have
music.
I'd have thought the right wing would have loved a good country song.
Yeah.
That's probably why she's going to get executed.
Yeah. I haven't even heard of her. She's a newcomer, isn't she? Tiffany Fitzhenry.
First time on the
Shame,
show.
because she's hot.
We're being programmed, like I said before, and so I won't say where I've been doing some editing, but I've been doing some editing in a place where a country music star owns this facility, and so the folks there who work with this person were showing me lists of words that they get, and this is a massive country music star. There are lists of words that they get that they have to put these words, certain words, into their songs. These are spells.
Wow.
We are being, and if you've ever wondered, why does every country music song mention alcohol, whiskey? I think there was a study done that said 90% of country music songs in some form or fashion mention or make reference to, if not outright, be, drinking. And, there is been a great illusion put over us, and music is so powerful. It is so powerful. And the people need to really understand that, it's like you go back to when the music scale was changed, right? Do you know about this? How the music scale...
Tell us about it.
Well, there's a frequency that is sort of the God frequency. And then there's frequency that's sort of just off from that. Back, I think in the 20s or 30s, it was a Rockefeller or Rothschild designed system that became our scale of modern music. And it's off from the real resonance, that it's just a scale down. So we don't realize it, but all of our music is tainted in this way. And sound, it has a powerful influence and a powerful effect on our bodies, on our minds. We're 75% water. And so when when something reverberates,
Fucking hell.
it changes your DNA.
Changes your DNA.
Now, I do believe there's something to the idea of getting ideas into the population through pop music.
Of course.
However, I don't take anything she says seriously, and it's not because she's a woman or anything like that. It's because she's very ill-informed. She's not very good at talking. So it's like, no, you're not saying anything. She'll say a big qualifying statement like, it changes. There's this frequency. Oh, what's the frequency?
The God frequency.
The God frequency. And then our frequency is just a bit off. Oh, could you explain that to me in technical terms?
She couldn't be able to do it.
She hasn't got a fucking clue
be
what
able
she's
to do it.
babbling about.
And the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds move the scales down.
I have heard this. Have you heard this theory?
No.
I've heard it. Have you heard it?
So it's something
Which
to
one?
do with it.
Which one? The Rockefellers or the Rothschilds? Tell me. Because
I can't remember which
in
one
my
myself.
mind,
but
that's
apparently
got a big distinction.
Apparently someone in the 30s changed the scale of all the music
Right.
to a different scale. I don't know how true. I'm just saying that I've heard that as a conspiracy.
But aren't there only so many, like, sounds?
Doesn't mean it's true though.
Yeah, aren't there only so many, like...
I don't fucking
You
know.
know.
I'm not a musician.
Oh.
I don't really understand it.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, whatever.
It's like in Red Dwarf, where, like, you can't just invent a new note, Holly. You know what I mean? Stick a new note on it. You have to have extra big basses. And
Triangles with four sides.
and women will have to be banned from playing the cello. But, yeah, I don't know. I think she's just, like guys before, just babbling out of her arse and not that well informed. A bit like me. But I'm not on these programmes being interviewed, like telling you what's what. I'm just on here on our show, openly admitting that I'm just spouting whatever comes into my mind. I'm pontificating.
Pontificate what is sir?
Yeah, but she... No. Nuts.
Right, what's Alex got then?
Alex Jones warns of AI combat robots.
Wow.
Works for me.
Let's get into the geopolitical news, because I've got about 6 or 7 articles here that all tie into each other when you're geopolitically literate. The general public thinks geopolitics is boring. That's why most college graduates can't tell you the 3 branches of government domestically, and they can't tell you the 7 continents, and but they can tell you baseball scores or football scores or NBA scores. It's not because they're even stupid. They were brought up learning how to fill their mind with tripe. It's much more interesting to know the different types of nuclear weapons. It's much more interesting to understand the history of the Russians or the Chinese or the Americans. It's fascinating. Plus, it makes you successful and informative.
Yeah.
I've talked to U.S. ambassadors to different countries. I've talked to top generals. I've talked to insurance company heads. I've talked to rocket scientists. And they'll always be amazed at my general knowledge in their field. And they're shocked, and they'll say, well, my own engineers don't know this much stuff. And I'm somebody, folks, that can't even hardly spell. But I can certainly learn how things work and how they interconnect because it's fascinating. I'm sure I could have become a football fan expert and tell you the sports scores from 1976 or what happened in the 1984 Super Bowl or what happened this year in the Super Bowl. But you know what? I don't want to know the jockstrap size of some arrogant roid-head punk. Sorry, just not into it. But I do want to know about space probes landing on comets. I'm into really neat stuff. And you can say, hey, I'm a weirdo. Well, that's fine. Being informed, knowing known liars is a little weird. Back when this country was founded, people were into speaking 5, 6 languages and not being conned and being informed and being ready to fight. They were called the greatest people ever by foreign historians in France and England and you name it. Now we're known as the dumbest, knuckle-dragging, stupid, most unhealthy people in the world because the globalists did a job on us. Plus, we were so prosperous, our ancestors gave us so much wealth, we became a bunch of spoiled, rotten punks that think just acting trendy and like we don't care about anything and being big slackers is cool. Not caring is cool. Not caring is not existing. You're dead already. That's what Bill Joyce said. They said, look, these aren't people anymore anyways. The only question is there's going to be a lot of moral people who don't want to be slaves who are going to fight the technocracy. And that's what the combat robots are going to be for. And the surveillance grid and the predictive systems to know when you're going to stand up. When you look around and see half the kids on your block with autism and a third of the people with cancer and you know, you read all the government documents, how they're doing it by design and laughing at us and, oh, no, we've got to be mopped up, huh? We don't want to wear different colored socks and have little beards and, you know, act trendy and shuffle around, have our girlfriends boss us around. We're called men. And the world doesn't need us anymore, we're told. It's the end of the age of men. We'll see about that. Because when the men in the system find out they're not going to be brought into this new world order either, when they find out it's a centralized spiritual takeover via machines by a group of adepts, Luciferians on the inside, and that it's the end of humanity as we know it because the devil wants to play God and have a new creation, when the elite find out they're going to be cut off, there's going to be some major resistance. And it's an info war, ladies and gentlemen, and reality is so much stranger than fiction. But let's get into what's currently happening.
Oh, he's good enough for me.
I believe every fucking word.
Yeah, me too. It's like, wow.
I honestly didn't.
I'm not so much into the fucking whole I'm a man.
Oh, well, yeah.
Up until sort of the.
But the whole.
Hey, let's not learn about who's at the beach jockstrap. Let's learn about history.
Yeah. I agree with all that. I also agree that they fill our minds with tripe at school that we never need in future.
Trigonometry.
The AI robots and the surveillance. Remember, did you see the footage I shared with you, gentlemen, from the protests in China?
Yes.
For the listener, I don't know what they're protesting about. I haven't looked into it. I just saw this clip of. Did you see it, Mike? Basically, it's shot from the end of the street where the police are, and there's just all these fucking beams, different coloured laser beams flying towards, and it's to fuck with the facial recognition technology. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. That's what he was saying. The AI robots and the recognition technology, you won't be able to step out of line, or there'll be a drone right there. Citizen number 3175, pick up your cigarette butt.
Like in oh shit, Roddy Piper. They live.
Yeah, they live exactly.
Steps out of line. The drone's there.
So I think a lot of what he said there's some truth to it. The Luciferian evil, you know, we've covered that. The satanic rituals of the elite. Fucking weirdos, drinking the children's blood. I don't think Alex is that crazy this week.
Yeah, you're very right.
We've got to think about this. So I think Tom Hanks being a pedo is the craziest thing that's been said tonight on this game show.
Yeah, because she wasn't very convincing. Well, neither of them are very convincing. That's the issue I have.
They didn't have very much information, did they?
No, there's like ums and ahs. It was kind of like us doing something. We were better.
We're better than them.
Yeah, we're better than them. So I suppose first time winner. Mark Taylor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the.
She just had nothing. He's got nothing as well, but he's saying more crazy shit than.
I would have gone for her.
I mean, the thing is, we know
purely
that
because she
happens.
says that music can change your DNA.
Yeah, but some people on Fox News are saying that television's doing that.
But
she's Fox News level.
In her defence, though, you could then say music changes your mood. So is it changing your chemistry? Is that your DNA, your brain chemistry? I don't think it is it?
No.
But it's also what she's saying is just some new agey shit. People have been saying this like new age spiritualists for years.
Yeah.
We're 75% water, man, and you could affect, you know, like by
In
playing.
fact, she said 90% of country music sings about alcohol. As if that's some kind of spell.
Because some people...
because people like drinking
and listen to country music.
Yeah, do you know they
I
always...
sit in a bar, listen to a bloke on an acoustic singing a country song that's about drinking, so they drink more.
It's not that someone's gone, you have to put your drinking whiskey in that fucking song.
There's 90 words I want you to put into this song, and they all involve booze.
Cause I got friends in low places. Come on. When the whiskey drowns and the beer chases.
Oh, fucking hell. It's a Johnny Cash song, Sunday Morning Coming Down.
Sunday morning. Wait, he didn't write it, but he did a fucking good version
Yeah,
of it.
pour some beer on my breakfast, and I had another for dessert.
The beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more
That's
for
it.
dessert.
That's it, yeah.
I headed to the closet and found my cleanest dirty shirt.
Yeah?
Yeah, great song. But there are the new age people that claim there's a study that they always fucking... I think we might have covered it on the show, but I think it's been debunked where they reckon that you could change the molecular state of water by playing different frequencies and sounds to it. So they then use that to claim that, see, you could change your own body and mind with sound and vibration and frequency. It's hippie, new age, like, it's not that conspiratorial. It's boring. That's why I don't think she's that mad. That's why I'm going to go with calling Tom Hanks a pedo. Because he's not. He's Tom Hanks.
They win then.
And as of course, in a few months, he's seen episodes of Black Book, and we're going to have to massively retract this
I might
episode.
have to backtrack big time, or you might just have
I
to
al-
delete it.
I always knew he was. I always knew he was.
If he turns out to be, I always knew he was, but he's not. It's Tom. So.
Well, I can't prove that Tom Hanks isn't a paedophile, but I can pretty much prove through science that music can't change your DNA. That's why I'm going.
And also, let's face it. Oh man, Tom Hanks has got like Savile-esque cover in a way, hasn't he?
Well, like, because we all thought
everyone thinks Savile's a fucking saint. Everyone thinks Tom Hanks is a saint.
He's
Who
like
knows?
America's friendly uncle, but he was a bit too friendly.
Yeah.
Uncle. There was this one time at a party, he'd had a few shandies, and old Tom put his arm around me, a bit too low. That's my penis, Tom. Please get off my penis. Wilson! It's not Wilson. Yeah, no, it's not Tom.
So we're going with Mark Taylor then, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, first time winner, I think. I don't think he's won before.
Possibly not.
He's been a contender.
He's always a contender.
It's fucking insane. So he features on the show.
Let's wrap it up then.
In conclusion, Rajneesh is started off good, got bad. There you go. That wraps up quite eloquently. No, so I've been Ben. Don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult.
I've been Gaz. Please subscribe to Sewage Pipe Gaming on YouTube and Solar Warden Music on YouTube and Apocalypse Bull on YouTube, and I'll be eternally grateful. And also, while you're there, free Biff Tannen. Goodbye.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I want to say how the Jedi course is going. How's that going?
Still the same.
No.
On question 2.
It's a start.
Just start. You started.
That's it.
You'll be a master in no time.
Yeah.
That's a part.
Not a part.